What they do, what they do, what they do. Deep Range Lifestyle back at you, man, with another episode right here on my podcast. Well, y'all already see what's going on. Y'all already see who I got on the side of me. If you don't know, you're going to know and find out a little bit. You feel me? So, like always, I like to thank my guests for coming through to my podcast, man. I appreciate it, man. So we're going to go on and set this off right, man. So go on and let the people know, man, what you go by, what your name is, and where you're representing.
Well, you know, represent the MIA, baby. Rod Elegance. If you don't know who I am, you got to be a rookie to this game. But yeah, out here, shout out to my boy Deep Range, man, for having me out here in the podcast.
Appreciate it.
And we're going to have a nice little, some nice information we're going to share with you guys out there.
For sure. So what neighborhood, what hood you represent where you came up at, man?
Well, pretty much Miami. I'm right there at Liberty City, you can pretty much say. Was raised 32nd Ave, between 32nd, 27th Ave, and 103rd, 79th Street. Back in the days, the USA Flea Market, if you know.
Right.
That's pretty much where I was raised the majority of my life.
So during that time when you was coming up in that area, man, how was, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was life treating you? What was life like for you when you was coming up, like, as a kid? You know what I'm saying?
Well, as a kid, man, you know, we're big into family. So we did a lot of family get-togethers. Out in the street, junkie jit, playing football, no shoes on.
Right.
You know, and always had a love for cars and you know, pretty much try to stay away from trouble as much as I could, but trouble for some reason always found me.
Yeah. But you basically did what normal kids did, you know what I'm saying?
In the hood, what they call it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So in the household, man, you grew up in a single home or with both parents?
Both my parents, luckily. You know, it was I got 3 older brothers. I'm the youngest out of the 4, and then my little sister. Yeah, so it was 5 of us growing up. My mom and my dad as well.
Okay. And while coming up, see, you was fortunate like me, so I'm pretty sure you got life lessons instilled in you from both sides.
Well, growing up, man, we weren't well off. We were poor.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a baby, we were really poor. So, you know, keep it real, we used to go dumpster diving when we were kids. Because people throw away, you know, the supermarkets back then, they would actually throw away the trash. So
right.
We came from, I'm actually from South America, from Chile. So we came to this country and it was, you know, we see a lot of stuff getting thrown away that, hey, we like, you know, it's still good. So we'll go pick it up. There's companies that throw away clothes and stuff like that. You know, my parents, we came from real poor background.
Yeah.
So to us, it was, you know, it's good stuff. It was you know, my dad always worked. My mom was a housewife. She did work sometimes, but we definitely weren't well off growing up. And then just hard work, and throughout the years, you know, my dad started making more money, and we started getting a little bit better, but was never well off. I'll tell you that much. It was rough growing up. You know, where I didn't know name brand till maybe I was a teenager.
Right.
But before that, I never owned a pair of name brand shoes. You know, pizza, if we had it one time a month, it was a blessing growing up.
Right, yeah.
You know, but we always had a hot meal on the stove. My mom always made food, and we figured out ways to make it happen. So it was 3 older brothers and myself, and my little sister that she was younger than me. She passed away, so she's no longer with us.
Oh, okay.
And it was rough, man. It was rough, but we made the best of it. You know, electronics, growing up, we didn't have money for computers. We didn't have, you know, money. Cell phones weren't even out yet. Beepers were out. I didn't really have beepers when I was young because we didn't have the money for them.
Right, okay.
And then once I was old enough, got into the car game and started working, you know, making money. My first actual job was real job was at Burger King. As soon as I turned 16, well, 15, I think it was.
Well, your story sounds like my brother Sulaiman. His first job was at Burger King.
So my first job was at Burger King. That didn't last long. I was there for a few months.
Yeah.
And then from there, stupid bet with the manager. I told him I could punch the cooler, the stainless steel coolers in the back and make a dent on it.
Right.
I ended up messing up my knuckle. I think I
Yeah.
broke it right here. Still got it's kind of curved.
Yeah.
So from there, I took a few days off to fix it. And by that time, that's it. I pretty much was fired. And then
So-
from there, I got really. I was already doing cars and all that, but as a summer job. So I needed something regular. And from there, I just really started going deep into the cars.
So, listening to you, I would think that some of the life lessons that got instilled in you was probably, because of the way you came up, probably to be humble,
Real humble, man.
hard worker.
I knew my dad was a really hard worker.
Yeah.
So then as far as school goes, my dad gave me the option. He's like, look, you're not, I know you're messing up. You ain't doing good. So you got two options. Either you go to school or you go work full time.
Right.
And I chose work.
Right.
So I really started working more on cars. And then from there, I started, I've been pretty much, I was raised into this car game. My grandfather, third generation, my grandfather had a body shop. My dad had a body shop. I had body shops.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was raised around this as a kid. I was always around cars.
Right.
And that's how I learned. So, it's not something that was, my choice was, I liked it. So I chose to do it.
Right.
And I had access to work on it. Like a lot of people that don't know me, they think I was a little spoiled kid growing up, that I was handed everything. And that's
Far away from the truth.
Far away from the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah, yeah.
I worked hard, really hard for
Matter of
everything
fact, it's
I
on
got.
the contrary, boy. Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
everything that I had, I busted my ass, And man, once we started getting older, times got a little bit better, because all my brothers worked, my dad worked, and he taught us, either you use this up here or these right here,
Right.
and
Right.
unfortunately,
We use it.
I use these instead of
Like my
using this,
father.
so that's why I'm still working with my hands, With
Yeah.
I should have gone to school, but whatever, man. That's
Right.
all in the past. I made a career out of it, done good for myself from working with my hands, and I still use my head. Don't get me wrong, but it's I can't complain, man. I really can't.
So, during this time when you was coming up, as a jit, right? Was it a car culture you was exposed to at that time in the area or anywhere around you?
Well, I was younger than the rest of my brothers. So my older brothers, they were into cars, lowriders, and all that. That's what Elegance is actually Elegance Car Club. So they got into the cars. They started hooking them up, and
Right.
me being younger, I wasn't old enough to drive. So I started with the little model cars, the little, not the remote control cars, the little model cars. And back then, there used to be a place called Orange Blossom. It was a hobby shop that where you can go buy all the accessories and all that. So I'll go buy the model cars. And I was 12, 13 years old. I had access to paint materials and all that. So I'll go buy them, paint them myself, and then we started putting little hydraulics on them. It was the Lowriders back then, a lot heavy into the Lowriders. And from there, it escalated, to started. That's when, before even the big wheels were really out back then, it was 30s and Vogues, 50s and Vogues, lows, whatever you want to call them. And 20s weren't out yet, 22s weren't out, none of that. This was back in, in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So, and then from my neighborhood, we got a lot of legends out there as well, who actually, were already, they're older than myself as well. They did already have donks, and, they had like big engines and stuff like that. So
it was a car. So it was a car culture. Was it more lowriders around?
Well, my part was more towards the lowrider, but my area, my hood out there, there was a few people who were already into the car culture,
Okay.
with the 30 and lows and 50 and lows and stuff like that.
Okay.
So then from there, I used to have I think it was a Delta back in the days. I actually know my first car my mom let me have. It was an 83 station wagon. I was 14 years old.
Right.
And it was a brown, stock color. She literally went and gave it to me.
Right.
And as a jit, you know, my parents sometimes they weren't around, so I'll take her to school. I wasn't even supposed to be driving.
Right.
And then from one day to the next, she went and sold it, and I told her, "Damn, you know, I thought you gave me the car." She's like, "We needed the money." I
Yeah.
completely understood. I was
Right,
like,
right,
"Oh,
right.
okay, no problem, mom."
You
know?
didn't get so you didn't get upset.
No, not at all, man.
You was
I
mature.
was
You
was
was
happy
mature.
that when
Yeah.
she had given it to me, but at the same time, we need money.
You
Hey,
understood.
yeah, of
Right.
course, you know. Hey,
And how old you was?
I was I think 14 at the time.
And that's crazy because at that age, you ain't got no understanding, man. We selfish at that age, so that's crazy. You understood that.
And then from there, I went and bought myself a little hoopty to a two-door blown engine, and would drive that around the hood. And then afterwards, my first car was a box Chevy.
Right.
Yeah, my brother actually he gave it to me.
Okay,
It was a family gift, but my brother was the one who actually gave it to me.
So, okay. So what type of cars before you got? What type of cars were being fixed up? Like obviously 6 fold.
Back then, yeah, we had well, the car club back then was really big, so there was a lot of Euros. You know, that we had some 6.4s, but pretty much every car you could think of, the Donks and everything as well.
Right.
But you know, this is before the actual big wheels started coming out, so it was a different game back then. You know, 20s didn't exist on the car.
Right.
I think the biggest that was back then might have been like 18s or 19-inch wheels, which were like for trucks and stuff like that.
Right.
They didn't have the right lug patterns or the offsets, so you couldn't really put them on cars back then.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the lowrider scene was pretty big back then. Where the car club, as I can remember, when I was a kid, because my brother was a vice president, we had probably like over 50 cars. We had over 100 members. So Elegance Car Club was huge back then. We had a lot of different chapters. Like when we have the actual meetings, this crew over here, saying we're all representing the same car club. They didn't know this crew. Right. This crew didn't know this crew. You know, because it was different sections. But the car club was really big at one point. And then from there, it died down a little bit. And then my brother became president. After he became president, he ended up moving. So he pretty much handed the car club to me. I'm actually the president of Elegance Car Club right now.
Okay.
But we're not doing the car club things like that anymore. There is some still members that we have out there who represent the name for us.
Right.
But we don't do like the hangouts, and we don't do the car meetings or the club fees and none of that. But no matter what, it's always going to be a select few who are going to represent it for the rest of their life. That's why I got it tattooed here on my leg. And we probably got like a good 15 other members who actually have it tattooed on themselves as well.
Yeah.
Who they'll represent the club no matter what for the rest of their lives. But we all get older, families, you know, they move out, but they're still always part of the club no matter what. One day maybe I'll choose to bring the car club back out and start representing it hard as far as the car club goes.
Right.
But not as far as lowrider. It'll be like more like mixed, you know, because now we might have some lowriders, we'll have some donks, you know, we'll have even some hot rods. But it's a different game now.
And while you talking about that, right? Let me ask you something. So when it comes to my podcast, I get, you know, periodically people say they want you to let some lowriders come on your podcast. But you know, I represent, you know, a different type of car coaches. Donks, box Chevys, Regals. You know what I'm saying? A couple of my homeboys, they be like, "Dyke, Deep Rand, that'd be good, man. You can expand." But a lot of my homeboys be like, "Nah, man, they got their own car coaching. We got our own." What's your thoughts is on that?
I'm not a lowrider guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I started off as into the lowrider game and all that back in the days, but I've been with this donks since the 90s. Been doing donks.
Right.
You know, I have owned over 50 donks.
Right.
I've had every single convertible, 4 doors, 2 doors, hard tops. I've had pretty much, like I said, I've owned every donk. So when I pretty much stopped doing the lowrider thing and started getting into the big rims and all that, and the donks and all that, everybody was still, all the people that I was cool with were doing lowriders, and they'll always try to get me away from it. Like, hey, why are you doing these big wheel things? You know, you got to be careful out there too, and a bunch of spook motherfuckers too. You know, you're gonna get robbed one day, and that's one thing I was never afraid of nobody or nothing.
Right.
So I didn't really care. I was loose. I was crazy. I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I hooked up my cars the way I wanted to hook them up. I did what I wanted to do. I'll pull up to anywhere I wanted to, and I'm not saying I'm a badass and
Yeah, I get
I
what
can
you're
see
saying.
anyone,
You
but
confident.
I can handle myself. I can
Right,
take
right,
care of
right, right,
myself.
right. Likewise. Right,
And blessed.
right,
I'm
right,
blessed.
right,
Nothing bad has ever happened to me
right,
to a
right,
point where
right.
I've been injured, life threatened, or anything like that. And I never really cared about what other people cared, about whatever other people
Say,
thought,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
said, or
Right,
thought of me, or thought of what I do.
right.
I'm gonna do me. I am who I am, and if you don't like me,
That's
hey,
right.
by all
What you
means,
see is what
go
you
your
get.
way. This is who I am. I
Yeah,
haven't changed. I'm still the same person. You know, I'm older now, more kids.
yeah,
That's pretty much all it is.
yeah.
But I haven't done the lowrider thing. I love lowriders. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't done lowriders in such a long time. Maybe one day I'll drop a lowrider again. And even the Donk game, to me already, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but you got to understand that I do this for a living,
Right.
so it's different for me. I see donks, probably you see it the same way. I don't know if you got the
Yeah,
love for it still.
yeah.
It's like working at a
I
restaurant
still
and
got a love for it.
eating at the restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I don't every once in a while I don't mind, but I since I'm around it all the time, I do it
Right,
for a living.
yeah,
I'd rather stay away from it.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't want to go and start dropping
I
cars
ain't to that point yet.
and yeah, no, go spend all the money. Right now I'm to a point where I'd rather go buy me an RV, go buy me a timeshare, go on a vacation,
Yeah,
like my truck. Like this is I felt like buying me a nice truck. I've been saving up, working hard, so I
right,
treated myself and I went and
right,
bought my truck.
right. It's nice too.
And then I went and did a few
Nice.
things to it
Yeah,
so I could pretty much it's an advertisement on wheels because the gold on there, that's my company as well, All Real Gold.
right,
The paint was done by me as well,
right,
so this is just advertisement on what. If anybody asks, oh, who painted it? I did.
right,
But damn, the gold, who did the gold for it? I did the gold
right,
with my paint on my the paint that my
right,
company
right,
does.
right.
So that's another reason why I did it. But now dropping a donk, I love it. I love it for other people, but for myself, I don't know. I'm not sure anymore. I don't even know how many more cars I really want to. Whether it's lowriders, hot rods, donks. I'm I want to enjoy my family right now, so
Yeah,
that's why I kind of stay away from it a little bit.
right.
But I still go to the car shows. I'll go to
Yeah, yeah,
events, and I still represent for the car culture itself.
right.
I try to pull out the best quality work that I can pull out. I always pull out some nice hits out there. So from back in the days, the East Coast Rider days and all that,
Yeah,
Donk Box and Bubbles. You had the magazines, the Dub magazines and all that. If you go back to that, you'll see me in a lot of those videos, a lot of the magazines and stuff like that.
right,
If you don't see me, you're gonna see a lot of the cars that I did from back then.
right. Okay.
So
Back then, was it any? Well, I'm pretty sure heavy hitters back then.
back then, yeah, there was a few heavy hitters back then. I remember like in my hood where Barbarito with the red 7-1.
Right, 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 right.
He
Yeah.
had that.
He
He
still
had a
around?
nice thing. I'm not sure. Not sure.
Yeah,
He is around, but I don't think he stays down here.
and that's the one that
No.
had the red 71 who was doing the donuts.
Yeah, if I'm not
On East
mistaken.
Coast.
You gotta. They're older than me. We were like the jits in the hood,
Right,
and then they were like older doing their thing. So I know a lot of people who know them.
Yeah.
Like my boy Frank at Reds. He knows everybody. Joy at Classic, fucking Classic Upholstery. Him too.
yeah, yeah.
Now they're older than me by probably like between 5 to 10 years. So me being a little bit younger, I was in a different generation. Mine was like a little bit different.
Right,
But yeah, there was some heavy hitters out there. Now once I dropped my box Chevy, I went first. I had it on 14-inch Dayton's, and then I went and it got stolen.
right,
They went and they kicked in all my panels on the box Chevy. They stole 2 of my doors, so they were hating on me. Whatever. Got it back. Got new doors. I went and bought a 17-inch center gold triple cross Dayton's. I was the first one with 17-inch Vogues. This is when 16 and 15s and 16s. That was the biggest 16 Vogues.
yeah,
So I was the first one on 17-inch Vogues. Put them on it. I did a candy paint and gold, the tangerine, and I put graphics all over the place. I had the flake in it. I chromed out. I did a full frame off, painted belly, chromed out all of my suspension, chromed out all the engine, painted everything inside and out. I put a '96 Impala interior in it. The gray leather. I put a gray top on it with it was like a shell top that I had on it. This was a 4-door box Chevy, a 1983. Did the whole car up, and then from there, I used to take it to the car shows.
You got pictures? Okay.
And
no,
I think I have some. Somebody has sent me the other one. I gotta go look for them.
Okay.
I lost a lot of the stuff back then too. People didn't really have too many cameras.
Yeah.
I wish I would have taken more pictures. But as far as the car show scene goes, nobody could beat me when I was like my car was in its prime. Then I started doing more work, and when I parked it, that's when more people started coming out to compete against me. But they never, when I had my car out, I never got beat by nobody down here in South Florida. Everybody and anybody who beat me,
you stopped that.
Was in the lowrider shows and the car shows. Nobody could beat me down here with my car.
Yeah.
And then from there, the only people who beat me were people who came from out of town, who had more crazier, more stuff than I did, and way more money invested into it.
Right.
So back then, I had some people competing against me when nobody could get with me. They thought that I was like, that I was just had mommy and daddy paying for everything for me. But see, they didn't know that I was the one who doing all the work.
Yeah.
I had help from my brothers and some friends as well.
Right.
But I'm the one who was there late night till 2, 3 in the morning every night, waking up at 6 in the morning to go to work, and then starting again at 5 o'clock to 2, 3 in the morning building my cars. So I had a full frame off back then. This was in 97, 96, 97, 98. Full chromed out suspension, everything. I put hydraulics on it on 17-inch Dayton's. And then I also had 4 IMPP Pioneers in the trunk with a 96 Impala interior. And that was like, my baby back then. Then from there, I had me a 6.4 Impala. I had me multiple 6.4s Impala. A candy green one, 3-flip candy on it. On triple gold Dayton's, 88 spoke 13s. I put hydraulics, and I also have music in that. Then I went and got another 6.4 Impala, but this one I did with an LT1, a 96 Impala engine.
You had some cars, boy.
87 Monte Carlos. I have Donk 71, 72, 73, 74, 75 Verts. So I have dropped a lot of different cars.
So like all them Verts, you dropped them?
I dropped probably like only 3 of them, but just in the streets type of deal. I went and bought me in 2003, I bought me a 75 convertible, a white one with original like 40,000 original miles.
Yeah.
I went and as soon as I got it, I put 22 GFGs on it with painted them white to match the car. Then from there, a few weeks later, I went and put some 26-inch Ashantis on there.
Yeah.
But this was when 35 series tires only. They only had 35 series tires. I'm sorry, they just came out with 30 series tires. Now every tire you see is 25 series.
Right.
Those are the skinny ones. So on 30 series 26, I was the first one who really was tucking my ass. And people didn't know how I did it, and I was doing full U-turns while everybody else was all chopped up and massacred on 26s.
Yeah.
I was dragging my ass with no rubs and doing full U-turns, and the car was immaculate. It was an original car, still had original paint on it. I gave it a little buff job. Interior was still original and still had the original 400 in it. And so everybody was like, how the hell are you hitting full U-turns? I can't even turn. I'm rubbing everywhere. I had done notching and did all my cuts. I re-welded everything back. So I made it look original with all my original moldings as well. Nobody knew how I did it. I had a 87 Monte SS. It was actually 88 on 6 Ashantis as well. A black one, all black one. And I also had it tucked the whole back. I was dragging that ass on 6s. This was back in the days. Nobody knew how I did it because everybody was still on 4s. That's when all them G-body boys were out with the GFGs on 4s and a bunch of candies and all. And I had an all-black SS on 6s, and I was lower than them on 4s, and I was hitting full U-turns as well. So I was doing all that work myself. Back then, I was doing it out of my garage, actually. There was a point where I had a shop, then I, got into some trouble, got back out, and I was working out of my garage for a while. Then went, subcontracted, did some work out there, and Then from there, went and got my own shop. And the shop was American Collision, the one that my dad owns, which was right down the street from the hangout back in the day, the tree on 54th and 35th Ave.
Yeah, you tore it down.
The hangout was on 46th Street and 37th Ave. So that's where I was doing all the work from back in the days. And then the donks as well back then, from the hustling video, the candy divided donk with the checker flags. That was actually a 3-flip candy.
Right.
Purple interior, purple top, the Monty cut, 3-flip candy on that. It was lime gold to lime green to a pagan with green base in the bottom. That one was also on, we had that, one of the first ones on 26s. Then we put it on 28s. The Garfield donk, the Garfield box Chevy as well. That was the candy tangerine with the fade on it. That was the one that had the clear rims back in the days. But it first came out with 26 inches dub. Actually, there were dub wheels. This was before all the 3-piece wheels and all that started coming out. So if you go back to the East Coast Rider days, back.
Man, I need to locate, but I need 3, 4, and 5 when I was on there. I can't locate it.
Yeah. You can probably still find them. There's still a couple of them out there.
I tried. My wife tried.
See what I can do for you. I'll make some phone calls for you. Yeah,
a lot of people who know me from back then, they've been asking, and I want to post some clips of me on East Coast Rider.
I know the people who did the actual videos themselves. Right? You got Lance, and then you got Danny as well, who's editing them back then.
Me, man. I need it.
So I'll reach out to them and see what I can do.
I need 3, 4, and 5, man.
As far as that goes, see your 3, 4, and 5. I was in I think 1, 2, and 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So the front covers on those are the cars that I have done from back then too. The checker flags back then, I had done a lot of checker flags. There was a couple of people doing checker flags out there, and doing some nice stuff too. Right. I saw it a few times, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do them as well. Yeah. And my style was different than the ones out there.
The first time me seeing you, when you were talking junk on side of the 71.
Yeah, that one there had a 23 karat Italian gold leaf inside of the actual checkerboard flags.
Yeah.
That had a 3-stage pearl on it, and then the other color on the checker flags was a chameleon color that we did to match the actual paint itself too. Right. That had like a lavender with a gold pearl twist to it, with a purple top with the cream and purple with the cream and lavender interior. Brought it out with a 24-inch the Bellagios first. Then from there we went and dropped it and put the 22-inch the Davins on it. Staggered Davins.
Would you say it's safe to say that East Coast Rider was like modern day Instagram, introducing the cars to the world on a DVD?
Yeah, East Coast Riders definitely put the car culture, brought it to another level because a lot of people didn't know about it. And then from there, it started unifying a lot of the car culture as well, big wheels, donks, and all that. It gave it a platform.
Right.
To start, going off of, and then that's when the magazines, the Dub magazines, and the Donk Box and Bubble magazines, and a few other, pages out there. Back then too, there was a page called Lay It Low as well. There, a lot of people were in there, with different cult cultures in there as well. But the East Coast Riders definitely was like a good platform.
Right.
That started. I can't say that was the reason why. Obviously you got Trick with his videos and all that.
Yeah.
Trick, he's old school when it comes to the Donk game.
Well, that's one of my questions that I talk about East Coast. Well, first and foremost, before East Coast, I always ask my guests, what are their thoughts on Trick being responsible for sending the Donk culture through the world through his music? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely had a big influence on everybody.
Before East Coast.
Yeah, before that was before East Coast Riders. He definitely had a big influence in the game.
Shout out to Trick,
Yeah, shout out to Trick. But there was still, and aside from Trick, there was a lot of people out there too who were dropping. If you notice, Trick, he started bringing up with the 75 when he already had it on 20s, was it? Yeah. Before that, there was already donks out there on 30 and lows and 50 and lows out there. So like.
Oh yeah, well of course. Yeah, well, I would talk about it mainly him taking it.
Yeah,
making it global.
He brought it more to Yeah, he brought it, definitely brought it out to another level, and then to the Northwestern Donk too as well in the videos. But yeah, he was a big part of the Donk culture back then, you know, and he was doing it just for the love of it, because you know he wasn't doing it, you know, to show out or anything like that. He loved he loved the Donks back in the days. So
you think Vito? You familiar with Vito No Shake, who passed away?
Vito No Shake was like my brother. Yeah, me and him were really close.
I don't think Vito get the flowers he deserved, man. The props he deserved, man.
No, I never did. You know, that was he was also with in Piccolo.
R.I.P. Vito, man.
Rest in peace, my brother, man. I know he's looking down on us.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, he was like family to me, man. I swear, every time I see him, it's like a brother to me.
Right.
You know, me and him were really close. Was,
cool dude. You know,
always whatever he needed from me, I was there for him.
Talked to him a couple of times, but
but he was good. And then
also
he had a big part to do with the East Coast Riders too. He was actually, you know, with the big Vito head. He was over in all the shows and all that.
Yeah.
And then Lance was actually a Digital Wheels before he started messing around with the East Coast Riders. He was, you know, also a big part to do with it. You had Danny as well, who was a big part to do with East Coast Riders. Then the King of the Streets also too. He had a big part to do with that. But yeah, Vito, man, rest in peace, man. I definitely miss him.
RP. And Murph, RP to Murph, man.
Yeah,
you know, he had that showcase in the Donk. I think Murph made a real. I don't think even when he came home, even though they had the Murph lane, I think it should have been a little bit more surrounded by his name, man, because you know,
Murph had a big
did a lot for the Donk culture, man.
He did. He had the coach Donk, you know, and Murph Super Zo as well.
Yeah, Super Zo.
Well, Murph. That's where my shop was at, on 54th and 35th. So Murph, that was his area as well. So you know, I was cool with him as well.
Right.
As far as me and Murph kicking it, we never really kicked it. He was always a little bit older than me too. But I knew of him. Don't know if he really knew. Probably he knew who we were. But me personally, you know.
Yeah.
I never been one to be out there. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. I'm not that. I just let my work speak for itself.
Right.
I don't gotta go out there and say that I'm this and say that I'm that.
Right.
You know, like I did a couple of podcasts recently, and not recently, several months back after the Rick Ross show.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people see me there because the way I talk arrogant and all that, but that's not the way I really am. I am definitely I will not back down from anybody talking smack about me.
Right.
You know, when it comes to this car game, because I am a big part to do with this culture as well.
Right.
But I have never been the one who say that I'm the best at this, I'm the best. When people ask me that, oh, are you the best? Or they try to get me to bash other people or put me on this high pedestal, I always say, let people tell you what they think of me and my work.
That's
if they don't know who I am, you know, show them some of my work, and then once they do the numbers and they add everything up, they'll see exactly who I am. So
and you know, it's funny you said that, because that's my mindset too as well. And you got some people that call themselves legends, because let someone else call you a legend, man.
Well, I don't know how to call myself legend.
Yeah.
But and then GOAT too. I don't call myself GOAT. Everybody, you know, anybody who knows me, they'll tell you straight up that they'll vouch for me.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's not something I go and I'm the GOAT. I'm this.
Right.
If you think I'm it, hey,
that's right.
Appreciate the love, man. I always, you know, I always appreciate the love from any and everybody. You know, now as far as this car game goes, I am a body man. I am a painter, you know, and I'll build you the car. I weld. I do my own fabrication, my own welding, my own body work, my own paint. I do my own west hand and buff as well.
Right.
Now, obviously, I do get help sometimes.
Right. But you know how to do it.
I do, yeah. You
know,
hands-on. When I want it done the first time the right way, I'd rather do it myself.
Right.
Or if I'm working on a really, like a big show car that I want to make sure that shit comes out right, I'd rather just go ahead and do it myself.
Right.
Now, I'm not a street person who learned off the streets. Like I said, I'm third generation into this body shop. You know, I am certified. I'm ASCA, ATI. I've been certified through PBG, DuPont, Sherman-Williams, House of Color. You know, I'm a professional body man, structural and non-structural, so heavy collision and body work, and then paint and refinish. I am a professional. Right. So I'm not, you know, I'm just a street guy. No, I'm actually labeled a professional painter and a professional body man as well. Right. Because I was born into this. So, you know,
And while we on this subject, man, you know what I'm saying? I talked about this when shout out to downtown. I mean, Flacco, when he came on my show, I spoke about this, but I wanna, give you your props while you here, bro. Downtown Bobby Brown car, bro. And I'm a body man that I take pride in what I do. I don't have to say it myself. Other people say I do good body work. I do good body work. So I know good body work when I see it. I know quality. And when I seen downtown Bobby Brown car, man, Flacco car downtown Bobby Brown, I was lost for words when I seen it at Donk Planet Car Show. I was lost for words, bro.
yeah,
Because y'all had it sitting up. And like I said, when I was talking to Flacco, I'm looking. I'm not looking for a flaw because I want to find it to hate. I'm looking because it's unbelievable. It looked like a glass.
we went and put a lot of hours into that, reblocked and primed that car probably about close to 10 times. And every time, I even painted it black first to make
really
sure, and then from there I reblocked it and I kept the process going as well. So that was one thing I told him. He was really patient with me when I did the car for him. So shout out to Big Key Flacco.
Yeah.
And for his patience,
yeah,
I pretty much rewarded him, and I told him, I say, look, I'm gonna make sure that you got the cleanest Donk out there. If not the cleanest, definitely is gonna be one of the cleanest out there. Like I said, I won't say you got the best rawest car.
Right.
There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna say, oh,
right.
He sounds arrogant, and it's not. But I guaranteed you the amount of work and the work I'm gonna put into your car.
Right.
If anybody could match it, I'll be surprised.
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you this. Like we were saying, sometime you let other people say it. I'm gonna say it. I see a lot of don't, just like you. I'm in, I'm in this culture. I had don'ts, but I seen a lot of don'ts. I seen a lot of car shows. I seen a lot of excellent work. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even as far as what I've done, and I've done some good work. Downtown Bobby Brown. I told my brother Sulema this. I told my brother Derek this. I've never seen a car that has been restored that immaculate. I've never seen
I appreciate
a car,
you, my brother. Coming from a body man, that means a lot.
Bro, I've never, and I've said this when I get on YouTube Live. I give you your props, bro. I ain't just saying this because you're on my show. I've never seen a car so straight, so immaculate. It looked fake.
It looks like if it was AI.
It looked fake. I give you your props, bro. I give you your props.
Well, yeah, we put so many hours into it. But the messed up part is that we actually redid the majority of the car, probably like within a 6-month period before the Rick Ross show. We disassembled the whole car back again, and we went ahead and did everything over again because we had built it for the year before, which we didn't make it. I chose to not take the car. That's when we took Nava, and he had just done the new combination on it with the green. And so I was like, I told Flacco, look, I don't want to rush it. That's one thing. Let's not rush the build. So we didn't take Bobby Brown the year before. And then the following years, we're about halfway through the year. That's when we just decided, you know what, we're going to go ham. There was some words said, out there, and a lot of hating going on. So I told him, look, don't worry about it. We're going to go out there and we're going to go win this key.
Right.
And now I told him nothing's guaranteed. All right. Because at the end of the day, it all depends on how it's judged.
Right.
If they're giving you points for having some, for example, advanced auto parts, little chrome stick-on moldings, because I got more chrome than you. Or if you're getting more points for having, little extra lights and all that, we're fucked. Because we're not going out there, we're building this car more like a hot rod style. We're going out there clean, and we're going out there with quality work.
Right.
That was our main goal in that car, and I told them, now, if they judge this car the way they're supposed to, like in the car show Autorama, that's where one of the biggest hot rod shows in the world, if they judge it as far as, quality goes and craftsmanship, there's no competition. We have no competition out there. So we were like, okay, we'll see. And I told him, by the end of the day, we're gonna win it, bro. We're gonna take it, but nothing's
You was
guaranteed.
that confident.
I'm that guy. Yeah, I was that confident as far as that went. Now that I have doubts in between here and there, again, it boiled down to how are they gonna judge these cars? Are they gonna judge them like a lowrider car?
Right.
Are they gonna judge them like a hot rod? Are they gonna judge it like a Euro, like if it was a Lambo or something like that? So when we went out there, we pretty much it was our competition. We had two cars competing against us. They had a different style build compared to ours.
Right.
Ours was built just for straight quality, and like even from our setups to our firewall, everything we try to make symmetrical to the twin turbo setup, all the panels, and then the whole bottom of the car was completely flawless as well. These other cars, they had their flaws. So our build was a completely different build than these cars. So the bodywork being too is, it was nice paint. We had it real nice. We did.
Yeah.
I tried my hardest on that car to get it, and with the time frame I had. But the detail that we had on that car was ridiculous, and you would have to be there in person to see it, to actually appreciate it.
Right.
And it's messed up that when we had it up on the stilts, on the stands and all that, it was high, so you can't really see into the engine compartment.
Right.
But when that car's sitting on the floor and you pop that hood and you look in there, it's amazing. You can eat off of it.
Well,
it's
guess what?
Beautiful.
For me, I was glad it was sitting up, because all I had to do was cross down a little bit to really see that body.
I bought it. Even the rocker panels in the bottom were blocked along with the top, and every body line on the car was everything was blocked on the car, taken apart, cleaned through the inside, re-put back together, and just kept doing it over and over till we got it.
Do you think you outdid yourself with that one?
Yeah, definitely outdid it. Can I build something that they could beat Bobby Brown? No problem. I could build it all day. So I could beat Bobby Brown with no problem.
So wait a minute. So you could do another car to beat the top Bobby Brown car?
Oh, yeah, easily. With no problem. But it takes time, and it takes a whole lot of money.
Right.
Because accessories ain't cheap. Bobby Brown had ARP bolts everywhere, where these other cars that we're competing against had factory bolts that were plated. ARPs, one of the bigger names when it comes to all your bolts.
Flocko went crazy
now,
with that, man.
Every detail too that you couldn't see was done on that car. The frame on it was a crazy frame because we eliminated every single hole. So even the bumpers, the way they mount,
right,
they pretty much screw straight into the chassis. They don't screw on with a nut and bolt on them. We did the whole car just to be clean. You could eat off that car in the bottom.
Yeah,
there's a lot of details, and from the interior, we wanted to still keep it looking like a Donk. So I grabbed the bench seats, cut them. I made it both sides electric seats. So that car actually has electric seats, individual seats, and we put a center console. But we still kept the original Donk seats with the Donk with the 71 stitchings on them.
Yeah.
So if you see Bobby Brown, he doesn't have shifter here. He has center shifter.
Right.
With a custom made center console. And then too with bucket seats that are both power bucket. They're both power, but they're not them little aftermarket, stuff. The trash. Some of the things that people be putting. They'll go buy a Honda Civic seats or some Lincoln Town Car seats and put them into a Donk. These are actual original seats that came off of a Donk.
Right.
So we just modify them to fit. So people see them and it's like, oh, their interior wasn't even. Oh no. The interior, the amount of work we just put into fabricating those seats was ridiculous, which a lot of people don't see that right there. And then too, just the detail we had on that car, man, it was really nice. But again, there's a lot of things that if I want to beat Bobby Brown, I know how to go about it.
Yeah,
I know what I would have to do.
Yeah, I mean, you built it.
So, but yeah, no, and then also you have James over there, Race Fittings. There was a lot of people involved into that build. So the majority of it, I could say yes, it was touched by my hands. Like before actually getting it on the car carrier to send it out there, when professional came to pick it up, And I was there. I pulled what 2, 3 all-nighters in a row. I didn't leave my shop to finish it.
Man.
So, and I had in my shop at one point probably like between 5 to 10 people helping out, cleaning, polishing stuff, and getting everything from even the display. We had the display set up.
I gotta ask you this: did you get any problem from the wife?
No, my wife understands.
Okay.
She knows. She knows what this means to me and what also means to my business.
Yeah.
So as long as she has some money to spend, she usually doesn't bust my balls. So we're good on that.
That's right.
But then, like, to finish Bobby Brown, I even missed my flight. I got there a little bit late, but then luckily there was another flight after that one. I was the one who needed to finish it, so everyone is there like offering me to help, and I went and I kicked out a shitload of people on my shop. I said, everybody, go hang out outside. I don't need nobody inside of here. And I just went ahead and finished and by myself. I had my right hand man. They works with me. Tito.
You think it had anything to do with trust? Like you only trust yourself with that?
Yeah. Like even right before leaving this was hours before. We didn't test fit the new date. We had a set of a staggered big hub OTD Daytons to put on it. That we were testing everything out to make sure everything measured. Flacco had a brand new set. We hadn't tested them yet. We're thinking, it's going to be the same offset and everything. When we went to go put on the new Daytons, the spacing was too close to the caliber because he has some fucking monster fucking calipers and brake disc on that. And we put on the wheels and spun it. The spokes scratched the whole fucking the
he
caliper.
told me that.
So this happened about 2 hours before they were coming to pick up the car.
He told me that.
I had to go and take the wheels off and pull off the caliper, mash the whole car up, and there blend the calipers back in, redo the Bobby Brown in there, the decals and everything, clear it right there. I put a heat lamp to it.
He told me that, man.
This is an hour before the car's leaving to go to the show, and leave it there heating up so it can dry enough, or we can put the calipers back on. It was just one, luckily. So fix that, and then from there, I had to go and finish putting all the engine compartment panels on. And I'm there, I got to fly. I still got to go home, shower. Oh my God, bro, it was a mission. And nobody could help me out in it.
How stressful it was.
I was stressful. That's why I don't even. That's why sometimes I'm tired of it because they die. It's so much work, and a lot of people don't understand that I'm the one who's actually there. So I can go and talk my shit if I want to.
Right.
Because I'm the one who's actually doing the work.
Because you hands-on.
I'm not the one sitting back taking videos of myself acting like I'm doing something or cleaning the car or buffing a little spot and want to take credit for the full build.
Right.
No, I'm the one that you ain't seen on the video, that I'm behind scenes fucking doing the damn work, busting my ass, actually doing the important shit, not making sure that the car's shiny. So that's what a lot of people don't understand.
And you do all your metalwork, all your fabrication.
I do my own metalwork, my own fabrication. I do my own body work. I do my own paint. And like I said, my shop is only 2 workers, which is my right hand man Tito and myself. That's it. And it's not that I could go right now. I got such a big name for myself that I can bring in 10, 20 cars if I want. Yeah. And I got high end clientele. I got really good, some
quality over quantity.
But I don't do that. I'm not a deposit junkie. I won't go and bring in 10, 20 cars. I'll choose my customers wisely because it costs a lot and it takes a lot. It takes a crew to build these cars. That's why they say don't game stressful. So if I see that my customer isn't ready to go in, I'd rather not do your car because you can't go and hold something against me. Oh, you told me it was going to be so much. Yeah, but you got to remember that I don't know what it's going to cost. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I will do the job for you, and I'll make sure that if we have a deadline, I'll make that deadline. Now, I got a call. I was born into this car, the car game. So I got my 3 older brothers. One of them is a painter, and the other 2 do paint and body work, but they're body man. They work for dealers.
Right.
So I got my 3 brothers, which are pretty much, if I need help, I call them. They take days off of work. They make over 6 figures a year easily working because they're really good at what they do. Now, how am I supposed to tell them to take days off of work to come to my shop to help me out and not pay them more than what they're making at their job?
Right.
So it's expensive, If I got 5 people working on this car, I don't got 5 people off the streets working on this car. I got 5 professionals,
Right.
label professionals working on your car.
That's just like you.
So now, exactly. So now, what do you think I'm paying these people peanuts? You crazy. To get my crew to come to my shop and help me finish some of this work and finish these cars off, bro, it costs a lot of money. So customer need to understand, we're gonna make your deadline, but I don't know how much it's gonna cost you. But I tell you what, you can come over here and hang out outside. I don't need you hovering over people while they're working in your car.
Right.
Because I don't know how you like, I don't like people on top of me.
Me neither.
A couple of times I'm there working and somebody's on top of me. I look up and I'm like, bro, the fuck, get your damn nuts out my face.
Right.
The fuck outside.
Yeah.
I'm here working. I don't need you to distract me.
Right.
I'm really tough when it comes to that. You know, I don't care if you own the car. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care who you are. If I'm working on your car and you bother me for any reason, not saying that you're being a pain in the ass with me, but if by any reason you distract me, I'm telling you, look, let's go. Because I close my gates, so you can't get in my shop only through appointment. I'll tell you, yeah, you got to go.
So you don't have people hanging up at your shop?
No, nobody can hang. Nobody could go in my shop.
Right.
You know, unless I allow them, unless it's one of my customers or one of my close friends or somebody I do business with.
Right.
The only people that can come to my shop. Besides that, my gates are always closed. I only work Monday through Friday from 10 to 6. Sometimes I stay to 7. I don't do weekends. So if you need me, you know, I'll pick up the phone no matter what, whatever day or time if I want to. Now, during work hours, if I don't have my phone on me, it's the only way that you're not going to get an answer from me, or if I'm really busy. From there, you can send me a text, and I'll call you back as soon as I can.
So you just said something just now, right? You say you only take in a couple of cars in your shop, right?
I only take very few cars.
But the couple of cars that you're taking in, you have to charge.
Well, I charge for the work that I do on the car.
Right.
So if I got to take off a screw, no problem. You're paying to take that screw off. But if that screw is rusted, and then when I go take it off and it breaks, you're paying me now to drill out that screw, to cut out that screw, to retap that screw, and then go ahead and put the new screw in there. Right. So that 2-minute job could turn into a 4-hour job. You ain't paying me 2 minutes for that rusted bolt. That's what goes with these classic cars, they're 50-year-old cars. You're paying me 4 hours to fix that rusty bolt that broke.
Right.
Same thing if I'm pulling off a frame and the body mount bolts break.
Right.
You know, if it breaks, guess what? We got to fix it. So you're paying for that as well.
So let me ask you this, right? Now I'm going to come at you from a customer's perspective. You charging me an hour for taking out that screw. I wasn't there. How I know you really?
I take videos, pictures, and then I write it down.
You get what I'm saying, though, right?
And the other thing, too, though, that's why I choose my customers. Because if you got trust issues, I don't want to deal with you.
Okay.
Either you're going to trust me or you're not. And if you're not going to trust me, you are in the wrong place.
Right.
You have a budget. Let me know your budget. I'll let you know. I'll stop at that once you reach that budget, and that's it. I deal with people with no budgets, and I deal with people who are going to trust me. And I have built such a good reputation as far as I have never messed nobody, fucked nobody over, or try to rip nobody off.
Right.
Okay. Am I cheap? No. Am I the most expensive out there? Hell no, I'm not.
Right.
But, you know, I charge you for quality work.
Right.
Now, if you ain't going to trust me doing your car, I can't do your car for you. Sorry.
Right.
Now, I do take pictures and videos of everything. From when the car pulls up to my shop, I do a video around your whole car, and I try to zoom in on anything that I see wrong with your car or any parts you're missing.
Right.
And then while I'm working on it, I take videos as well, and I say a description on the videos. I take pictures to make sure that you know, look, this is what it is. And I tell you, if it's a repair that costs under $500, I'm not going to call you. I'm just going to fix it for you, and it's going to get added onto your bill.
Right.
If it's something over $500, I'll call you and I'll give you a courtesy call. Be like, look, we got a couple of things. This is what it's going to cost. I'm giving you a heads up. I'm not asking you if I can fix it. I'm telling you I'm going to fix it, and I'm giving you heads up. This is what it's going to cost. That's a courtesy call. Now, if you don't want to fix it, you come back and be like, okay, no, you know what? Don't even fix it. All right, no problem. Now, when the car is done, here's the text or the phone call. Remember, you told me not to fix it. I didn't fix it for you. Damn, but I thought that wasn't included. Don't play those games with me. You know we discussed it. You didn't want to fix because the price was, you know, you felt like nah, fuck that. I can get away with that. That's fine. And that's why I like to deal with people with no budgets, because I'm gonna do your car right the first time and get you out. But I don't know what it's gonna cost. I don't know how long it's gonna take. But I do know one thing. I'm gonna do it the best I possibly can the first time, and I'm gonna take my time to make sure I do the best quality work I could do on your car with the time that I have to do your car.
So let me ask you this, right? So I do work on the side, right, for my brother. And guys, when they bring their car, they like to say, how much you're going to charge me to do it, right? And I make an example, like my father, he does roofing. A lot of times he got to go in the attic to see what's going on in the attic. He just can't look at your roof and say this. He has to go in the attic because there may be wood on the inside that he has to cut out. So he has to go in. Same thing with a car. I can't look at your car and give you a price because I don't know what I'm going to run into up under all that.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, perfect example as far as your old boy goes. There's some places in the roof that you can't see until you pull it out.
Exactly.
And once you pull it out, okay, that price shouldn't be the same price. Because if you got to go and do a whole, like start doing more structure on top of the roof because you didn't have access to see it, why do I got to go? I'm not going to go and just put the roof on top of it like that and leave that shit messed up. No, I'm going to show you. Look, this is messed up. This needs to be fixed. Oh, but why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? Why? Because I don't have x-ray eyes.
Right.
Because I don't know what's underneath there.
Right, exactly.
It looked good from the outside. Once we took it out, it looked good from far, but it was far from good. Now, perfect example. People think, what do you charge me to change my quarter panel? Depends. Once we pull out the quarter panel, how bad the inner fucking quarter is, how bad the inner wheel well is. If the whole lip is gone and I got to make that whole lip from scratch, it's going to cost way more. Right. If the supports on the quarter panel in the back are rusted out, it's going to cost you more. You got a support that goes behind the quarter glass. Usually that rusts out as well. I got to fix that as well. So I don't know what it's going to cost. Oh, but you can't give me a set price, or you can't give me a ballpark. I'll give you a ballpark, no problem. But you can't hold me on that.
Exactly.
I said, and on top of that too, I don't want you to get mad at me because, oh, look, it's going to cost you $5,000 to change that quarter panel. More, give or take. And then by the time it's all said and done, you're at $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 even. Yeah. All right? Oh, damn, but you told me $5,000. What happened? I don't want you to be mad at me because why? Once we took that quarter panel off, everything was bad down there. You had a lot of old, now the trunk floors as well, the back of the quarter panels attached to the trunk pan in the back. Well, if all that's rusted out as well, I got to remake all that, So then to the rear deck. If the rear deck is where, the tail pan molding goes.
So you do open tabs.
Pretty much you got to open tab with me. I could give you an estimate price on other people's, from prior work that I have, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be the price you're going to get. And sometimes you might get lucky and it'll be cheaper than what you expect.
Yeah.
And you won't complain at all for that. But now if it comes out more expensive, and like I said, I take videos of everything. I take videos of the metalwork. So that's another thing too. All the cars I do, I got proof of all the metalwork that got done. I got proof of the bullshit work that was underneath. I just don't go promote it. I don't have to promote it. But I got so many pictures and videos saved on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I cover my ass when it comes to everything in the business. I run my office. I'm my own secretary. I'm my own parts department. I am customer service. I'm the manager. I'm the boss. I'm the painter. I'm the body man. So I got a lot on my plate at my shop.
Yeah.
I deal with the customers as well. So I got to make sure that all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. I's dotted and T's crossed. I got to make sure that everything is on point so we don't bump heads as a customer to me when you come to me. That's why all of my customers, I could pretty much say every single one of my customers will talk good about me. And it don't matter what they paid. They'll be like, no, bro, he's good business.
Right.
He does good work and he's transparent.
Right.
He doesn't bullshit you. He doesn't try to lure you in to take your money. No, he's going to tell you, lay everything out on the table and tell you, worst case could be this. Best case could be this. but more or less you're gonna be right around here.
Right.
Now, don't hold that against me if for whatever reason it's worst case scenario. Pulling our car off the frame, bro, that's a big deal. People don't understand.
Yeah.
50-plus-year-old cars. You go and you take off. I'll heat up body mounts. I'll grease them up. I'll lube them up and everything to make sure that they come out as smooth as possible. I don't go down there with a big impact gun and just bam and rip your screws off. No, because if they spin out, it's a mission to cut them out. If they break on me, it's a mission to fix them. But now, if they're rusted out and they break, I gotta charge you to finish pulling it out, and if I gotta fix every single body mount on your car. So if we go and pull out of 14 body mounts, we pull out 10 of them come out smooth, 4 of them are rusted out and they break. Guess what? I'm gonna fix those 4 for you, and they're gonna cost whatever it's gonna cost to fix them. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's a quick, easy repair. Other times I gotta cut out a whole section out of your floor. And I like to work with original parts. So I'll go try to find you a nice floor pan or a nice section that I could just cut out and then go ahead and make it easier because it'll come out cheaper. Right. For me to make the part for you, it's more expensive because I can fabricate any part on your car. But for me, if I go and find it, we'll spend a few $100s buying the part, then I can go ahead and cut it out and weld it onto your thing, and you got an original part on there. That's the way I would prefer doing it because it'll save you money and time, and it'll save me, a headache and some time. But now if we can't find that part, I'll fabricate it for you, no problem. But the fabrication, when you start doing numbers, it could take me 3-4 days to fabricate some parts and stuff like that. Now you're paying 3-4 days, at $100 an hour. That part now it just costs you $3,000 when we could have found it for $500, and then it would have cost me $500 to $1,000 to install.
Listen, and I run across guys that's getting their car done, stripped down to the metal work, paint, everything, right? And I know guys that's charging 12 grand, 15 grand. And these guys saying, man, I paid 15 grand. I'm like, bro, that's cheap.
So you got 15,000 just in body work. Yeah, just to reblock a car 2-3 times.
They still want. A lot of these guys, they still want work done for $4,000 or $5,000. That's years ago, man.
Yeah, that don't exist no more. Like, look, for example, you gotta to strip down a whole car, taking apart all the body parts on it. You got your whole front clip off. You got your doors off. Now you're doing your firewall. You're doing your cowl pan. You're doing, you're gonna shave your firewall because you got that big bulky original AC. Just when you start getting into that, your wheel wells need to get repaired if they got any pits or any rust. Bottom of the hood, your radiator support also has to get done in case it has any rust or repairs inside and out. You got to disassemble everything on these cars. And then when you go put it back together, you got to put everything brand new. You can't go and use your rusty old bolts. You can't go and use old rusty clips, your pushing clips or whatever it is that, you're trying to buy as much new parts as possible.
Right.
So all that costs money. Now, if you don't want me to take apart your car, that's fine. I won't take it apart. I'll spray from the outside. But me, I don't like doing that. I like to take off your fenders, spray the inside of the fenders, spray the whole fucking clear coat the whole fender off the car. I like to buff your fenders off of your car, wax them. When I go put the car together, everything's super clean, no compound in between. Everything looks like brand new. I like to put brand new hardware on your car, brand new bolts. Or we go get them dipped in gold, or go chrome plate them. I like that. Stainless. I like to go and buy the real stainless steel bolts, not the ones that you go buy, at the hardware store, which those you could get them for pretty cheap. But the real ones, they cost more money, and all that starts adding up. I can't use your old weather strips. I can't use a lot of your old clips. I can't use a lot of your old stuff. I put it brand new. I keep the majority of parts for Donks in stock, brand new, and I use a lot of NOS parts, new old stock. That's what that stands for. They're brand new parts. They got made when the car got made, but the dealer didn't sell, GM didn't sell. So there's still a lot of new parts out there. There are 50-year-old parts, but they're still brand new because they've never been installed on a car yet. Those are the best parts to use, which now is getting more and more scarce. Now, when you start doing numbers, they start adding up quick as shit, real quick. to go find some brand new NOS headlight bezels, bro. If you find them for under $500 a piece, that's love.
To sum it up, fixing up these cars not made for everybody, man.
You're better off buying a really clean original car, which they're damn near impossible to find, but they're out there, and starting with that. Because
Right.
then from there, you know, you got at least the majority of the parts you can reuse, or you can go and get restored, you know, refurbish the parts and stuff like that. And you don't got to be out here trying to find parts for the cars. Because if not, you go buy yourself a project car for, let's say, $10,000. Car's taken apart, it's already in primer. Oh no, I have all the parts. They're all here. There's some in the trunk. I got some in my storage. All right, perfect. You buy the car, 10,000. I got to steal. Now, when you go put the car together, you're missing 15 different pieces.
Right.
Each piece, on an average, costs you $400. Do the numbers. 15 times 400. You're already $6,000 now extra that you're missing just in parts. So now you got 10,000 plus $6,000 in parts that you're just missing.
Right.
So you're already $16,000 in to have a complete car. That doesn't include, now you got to go over the body work, over the paint. Doesn't include your weather strips. Doesn't include your bulkheads. I put a brand new front windshield on every car I do. I take off your front windshield and I install it. I install it myself. I don't go call somebody to come install your front windshield. I do it myself with my guy at the shop. He gives me a hand holding it. I lay down that bead, that the actual glue for the front windshield. I lay down that bead on that windshield. And when you go see my windshield, that bead is beautiful, not a bunch of glop all over the place. So I even installed my own front windshield. I'll sit there with a hard block and block your car. Take my time and block your clear and leave it flat completely. You know, I'll sit there and for hours and hand make a piece for you, fabricated with my welders and hammer, dolly, everything, and make a piece, a section for your car that's rusted out myself. And then when it's done, I'll go ahead and body work that shit. I'll epoxy it. Next day, I'll go fucking body work that shit for you. I'll prime that shit. And now my guy that works with me, he's my right hand man. Tito, he helps me with everything. But he's limited to what he knows. So everything that leaves my shop is touched by my hands. So you don't get those excuses from me. Oh, my painter fucked it up. My body man fucked it up. Man, he prepped them and he fucked it up. No. I'm the one who finished your car. I'm the one who finished. I went over the prep. So if there's something wrong if I painted on top of a chip, that falls on me. Right. I'm not blaming and pointing fingers at nobody because a lot of shops do that. Oh no, my guy messed it up, man. Don't worry about it. We're gonna fix it for you.
That's common.
No, I'll be like, yo, it was on me. Or if not, I'll call you and be like, look, I was supposed to have you out, this weekend. A couple of things went wrong, so next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll have the car for you. Sorry for that. My customers are like this with me. No problem, Rod. You're good, man. Whatever time it takes, that's fine. Because I know you're going to fucking leave my car right. And that's why I came to you.
And what about, you ever run across the guys who don't know nothing about body work or paint, but they telling you, man, that don't cost that much?
All the time. And
but they have no idea how to do it. They don't know what it takes.
And the people who live in the past, bro, like how? What do you mean? How come it costs that much? Because I'm not just scuffing and spraying your car. I'm disassembling your whole car. I'm fixing anything that's wrong with your car. I'm aligning your whole car. I'm pulling your car off your frame. I'm making sure all your body mounts are on point before we could even finish your car. I go through the process that it takes to get your car done right the first time.
Right.
So I'm not the one who's just gonna grab your car and give you now. If you want me to give you a quick, in and out, I'll do it for you as well. But I only do that in the conditions that that you told me to do that.
Right.
And I'll do that with select few people only. I don't like to do it. People call me all the time. Hey, Rod, I got my car's body work. How much you charge me to come? It's in the booth for you to come spray it. I won't spray it. Why? Because no matter how good of a painter you are, you could be the best painter in the world. If you're spraying a fucking turd, that's a fucking shiny turd. That's all you're spraying.
That's right. Because body lines and everything complements the paint.
If your car the gaps ain't right, if your body lines ain't right, if your car ain't blocked right, and I go and I paint it, guess what? My paint job looks like shit.
Right.
So a car could take me 6 months to get it ready to paint, 3 months to get it ready to paint. It only takes me a week to spray it,
Right.
2 weeks to spray it.
And to add to what you're saying, right?
And the majority of the money goes into the prep
but listen
to get it ready to paint.
When the car finished and it looks like shit, right? They're not going to tell the world, oh, somebody did this, such and such did that, but the only thing, Rod, you know what they're going to say? Rod Elegance did it.
Rod, yeah.
Deep
I can't
Range
believe
did
it. Yeah.
Meaning everything.
No matter
they're not
what.
going to break it up.
No matter what gets done, you know? So, no, you could, if you have your car done the right way, pretty much you can get anybody to paint your car. Now, minus, you know, like anybody who actually paints cars.
Right.
Okay? Minus custom stuff like, you know, your candies or your pearls, but like a nice solid color, you know, or some metallics, not all. You can get your average painter, and if I prep the car for them and get it ready, bodywork it, gapped and everything, and get it ready for your average painter to paint that car, that painter is gonna look like a superstar.
Yeah.
Because I made him look fucking way better than what he is.
Right.
Because I gave him a fucking beautiful platform
right.
to lay down his paint. And he could be, I'm not saying a shitty painter, but he could be pretty much a shitty painter, and that paint job is still gonna be fucking really nice.
Yeah.
Now you get somebody to go, as long as you put enough material on there, you go and get somebody who come and give that shit a good buff, well, that fucking shit is gonna look amazing.
Why do you think some body shop gets so much of a bad rep?
Because they don't know how to deal with their customers. Because some shops as well, you got to be careful. The shops are struggling. They're obviously not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
So they need to bring in work.
Right.
And when they need to bring in work, that's the problem.
Right.
That they're bringing in and they're getting themselves into problems.
Yeah. And they can't push them out.
They're loading up cars,
Thinking in
deposit, and putting them to the back,
right.
or just doing a little bit of work on them and bringing in more and more and more. Next thing you know, they can't handle. They got themselves so deep into a hole that they can't climb out of it.
Right.
And that's what makes them look bad. So now they're rushing the job because they also gave set prices.
Right.
They didn't know how to charge a customer. They don't know how to charge, how to build a car.
Right.
They know how to paint a car. They know how to bodywork a car. But every car is a different situation. Every car demands a different approach to it.
Right.
Just because I did your car this way doesn't mean that I could do his car that way.
Right.
He started off with an original beautiful fucking car, so I was able to get him out quick.
Right.
I fixed a few dents, gave him some nice, aligned him up real quick, gave him a nice fucking block, prime block, reprime block, and beautiful. Your frame had rust issues. Your floors had rust issues. Your quarter panels were rusted out. Your fenders, the lower fenders are rusted out. Your hood even your fucking hood hinges are shot. That's another thing too. You want aftermarket hood hinges? You want them nice little billet hood hinges? Them shit's got to be professionally installed. What do you think? It's free? Oh, hey, I bought the hinges. Can you put them on too?
Right.
No problem. I'm going to put them on for you. I got to do some cuts on your fenders where the shocks go. I got to do some fabrication on the car to make sure that the bottom of your hood sits where it's supposed to. And you can go and with your pinky, close that bitch. But you think that's free? No, that costs money. Now you want your stock hinges? I could restore your stock hinges for you as well if you want. Not all stock hinges could get restored. They gotta be restorable. If they're too shot, if the metal's too worn out on the rivets on them, you can't restore them. They're junk. They're trash.
They told me, and I want you to confirm it or say it's false. I heard from numerous of people, but shout out to Turbo Kid. He said that there's no one. This is what Turbo Kid told me. But I've heard this through several people. But he said that you're the best at putting cars together, gapping them. He said there's certain things that you know about a car that the average person don't know. He said Dyke. He would tell you, in order to get this right, I'm just making an example. You got there's something on the inside. He said you break it down to a science.
Shout out Turbo Kid, by the way. I appreciate the love too.
Is it true?
It totally is.
Okay.
The hardest part on a car is the finish. is finishing it. Because anybody could give you good body work, good paint. Now, who's gonna finish making sure your doors close right, making sure that your hood closes right, making sure your trunk closes right, making sure that all the parts are put on there right, that it's fucking done, that it has to be buffed right as well. Even the West Island buff, well, you gotta be careful. You burn an edge, or you're buffing and you peel something on it, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Now, when I buff a car, and if I fuck up your buff job, guess who's fixing it? I am.
Yours. Right.
So when you go take your car to go get buffed by somebody and they fuck it up, guess what? They're paying somebody to fix it.
Right.
Now that's the difference between me and these other people.
One-man
That
band.
I'm the one who's gonna fix my fuck up. So if I fuck up, I'm fixing it for you.
Right.
And guess what? I'm pretty goddamn good at it.
Right.
So you ain't gonna notice that I fixed it because that's what I do.
Right.
So that's the other up part, the good part that you got by when I touch your car.
Right.
Now I've had a lot of cars that are, I just need the car finished. No problem. When I go finish a car, bro, you could easily be at $10,000 for me to put the car together for you. Easy. Yeah. Because we got to go backwards now to go forward. The doors weren't aligned. The doors were supposed to be aligned in the bodywork stages. So I got to pull your doors out. I got to restore your hinges now. And that's another thing. They sell aftermarket hinges as well. I don't like them. I keep parts in stock at my shop too. I rather use original parts and restore the original parts for you, like your hinges. I rather use original hinges and restore them.
Right.
Put the whole new pin set, weld whatever I got to weld up on them, and restore them completely. Then I'll install them for you. When you go buy them aftermarket shit, them shit's made in China. Them shit's are garbage. They always break.
Right.
So, and then with time, they start sagging on you as well.
Right.
Now, for me to put your car's painted, for me to pull off your door, what, you think I like to pull off a car that's painted your door? What if I chip the fucking car? That's just dangerous as shit. So now I explain to you, look, I'm not responsible. It might happen to me 1 or 2 out of every 10 that I do, 10 or 20%. I might get a little scratch or chip. Now I'll touch it up for you if it does happen, but I'm not responsible for it.
Right.
And if it does happen and it's something that, when I touch it up, you don't like it, I'll fix it for you, but that's going to be added to your bill. Those are the only conditions that I'll put your car together for you, because all the stuff on your car needed to be done before, the paint was painted.
So for the simple fact of how good you are with putting cars together, do people hire you to go to their shop to put cars together? Like another body shop would say, hey, Rod, I pay you to come here to put my car together.
Some of the biggest names that you think that you're a fan of, they call me for my advice. They call me to go work on the cars. I'm not gonna throw nobody under the bus.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
But there's a lot of things that people don't know. Okay, and these big shops that you think are this and that, all right, they run into an issue and they wish they had Rod there to help them out. They wish that they had fucking Rod there to go, or they could just call me, which my phone lines are always open, and I'll help out anybody who needs to help.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you would say that because, these shops will call me and ask me for my advice.
Yeah.
And if it's a customer that they have that doesn't, look, my customer doesn't care what it is, no problem. Send the car over to my shop. I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to tell nobody.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's a business and you're putting food on your family's plate.
Right.
I'm not going to go and take food out of your family's plate because I'm not that type of person.
Right.
So if you need me, my doors are open for any shop out there or any person out there. Now, it's going to cost what it's going to cost, and it's going to take whatever time it's going to take. And if you don't want me to tell anybody that I touched your car, I won't.
Right.
Because I do business that way.
Right.
I keep
trustworthy.
And the other thing is too, I got customers that don't want to know what's going on with their car. So that's why in my shop I keep my gates closed, and I let very select few. You're not allowed to go to my shop and take videos in my shop. You're not allowed to just go. If you come with an entourage, I won't let you in my shop. No matter who you are, perfect example. Kodak was at my shop yesterday. he's right down in the corner from me. So he always comes by and says what's up to me. He comes out to hang out and chill there at my shop and shit like that. So sometimes he shows up with a bunch of people. And it's not that I'm trying to be an asshole with the people, but I'll let Yak into my shop. I'll open up the gate for him, let him in, and I'll tell him, look, your people got to wait outside.
Yeah.
And I close my
You
gate.
can't see what everybody doing at one time.
I don't need a bunch of people hanging out in my shop. My shop is not a hangout.
Right.
You know? And that's him. So you know, and I'm cool with him, bro. That's my dog.
Yeah.
So now
you doing a call for him?
Anybody? Nah, he just
okay.
he just swings by the shop, dog, just to say what's up. But he always stops by.
Yeah.
His studio is right there in the corner. So, you know, now what makes you think that I'm gonna if I don't let him come with his homeboys, him being who he is, what makes you think because your car's here, you're gonna come in here with a bunch and come hang out? No, I'm not. If I allow it, it's because I'm being nice.
Yeah.
And once I see that you're getting comfortable, I go tap you in the shoulder. I gotta get to work, dog. You know, you guys are distracting me. No disrespect. I ain't trying to be rude or anything.
Yeah.
But you gotta get out.
Yeah.
You know? And I keep it business.
Yeah.
And I open up my gate, let them out, get back to work.
Yeah.
When I work on cars, I don't use my phone. If I'm working on a car and I'm doing something detailed, I'll stop working, get on the phone, finish my phone call, and then get back to work. Whenever I'm on the phone and I'm trying to work, that's when I mess up. So now, if I go and scratch a car, I gotta fix it. I kick myself in the ass. I should have stopped working and handled this phone call while I was working.
Right.
When I'm not on my phone and I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, I could do way better quality work than if I'm distracted. So when I got people in my shop, they're distracting me. So it's hard for me to give my best if I'm being distracted.
Right.
And that's why I don't allow people to hang out in my shop.
Right.
You know, if you come to my shop to drop off parts, drop them off, that's it. You know, if I want to take 10, 15 minutes to talk to you, an hour or two to talk to you, talk some shit and go over your car with you, I'll do it because I decided to do it.
Yeah.
But my customers are not going to decide to come to my shop and hang out and pretty much give me my schedule. Like, oh no, I came over here to kick it with you. I'm just going to be here for an hour. No. I'm really busy right now. You know, I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way, but I got to get to work. So,
what's your approach of dealing with a cheap customer?
I don't deal with cheap customers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, if I do deal with, it's because I've done business with you before, or because you pretty much I'm doing a favor for somebody, which I really don't do it. But a family member, somebody who needs something done, they're in a bind, and hey Rod, can you help me out? I ain't got much money. Yeah, no problem, I got you, bro. Just drop it off, give me a couple of days, and I'll go ahead, I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah.
Which I try not to do that too often. That's another reason why I'm not doing the car club thing too much. Because when you got a car club and you own a shop like I do, and a car show comes around, you got a line of people asking, Rod, do you have this tool so I can do this? Hey, do you have a little bit of touch of paint so I can touch in my car? Hey, do you think that you can fix this? I'll pay you. I don't care what it costs. Hey, you think? And it's like, I'm not gonna charge you what it costs to fix it because I know you're like a brother to me. You're a real close friend to me. So what happens is, that's why they say you can't mix business
with pleasure.
And what happens when that starts, your cost. I'd rather go and do the work for a good paying customer, a good customer that's paying, for quality, and make that extra dollar, because at the end of the month, when those bills are due, when my employee needs to be paid, when my rent needs to be paid, when those materials need to be bought, when tools need to be paid, when a compressor needs to be bought, a lift needs to be fixed, guess what? You're not fucking paying for it. You're not paying for it. Guess who's paying for it? Me.
Yeah.
So I got to always make sure that I can keep my gates open. And by securing that, I have to be hard. I can't be doing favors for people. I can't give you player price. Now, if I'm cool with you, obviously, I'm going to look out as much as I can, but you're still going to pay good money.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna be. It's not. I'm not gonna be. That's one thing that I've also heard from other places. Oh damn, dog! But they'll charge over there. They're charging me this much to do it over there. I'm like, so what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to see how much you would charge. Okay, well you know now, and that's my hookup price. So if they're charging you $500 to do it over there, I usually charge $2,000 to do it here. But I'm gonna look out for you, and I'm only gonna charge you $1,000. Damn, but they told me $500 over there. So it's good. That's a really good price. Take it over there, pay the $500, and if they mess it up, then you can bring it back to me. And I mean, as long as they don't mess it up too bad, I'll be able to look out for you.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time too, I don't got the availability. If you can, start getting the body work done. Start getting your metal work done. Start getting your car built. Once you get to a standstill point, then holler at me. At least you advance me. I'll go look at the car and I'll try, to now at least a lot of work got done on the car. So now I could probably bring you in and finish the car for you. But as far as, I need new floors. Right now I don't have the availability. I don't have the time to be looking for floors for you, or to fabricate floors for you, or to change the floors. Because what happens if you need floors, there's probably going to be other things you're going to need along with it too.
Right.
So, and the same thing you said about your pops and the roof. And if there's something underneath that I don't see, I don't like leaving it like that. I have to fix it for you. So now your $2,000 job that should have been an in and out just turned into a $3,000-$4,000 job because a bunch of other shit we found once we stripped down your floors. You got Swiss cheese all over the place. What do you want to do about that?
Do you think majority of the people want showroom floor, but they really don't want to spend no money? I like to call it people want Saks Fifth quality.
Yeah.
They want to pay Marshall prices. You think that's majority of the people of the world?
You got a bunch of people that are like that.
Yeah, man.
And as long as you're transparent with them and you explain to them what they're getting for what you're charging them, you'll do good business, because they know what they're paying for. You're pretty much you're putting a Band-Aid on. That's all you're doing for them. So if they're expecting to get a fucking Rolex, but they're fucking paying for a Seiko fucking watch,
Yeah.
all right, it's not gonna happen. And as long as you explain to them from the beginning that that's not gonna happen, you're good. But if you go, oh, of course, yeah, no, I got you. I'm gonna take care of it. I got you. That's the famous verse too. I got you. Customer thinks you got them.
Yeah.
So what happened is you didn't know how to communicate with your customer. That's why you're in that bind now, because the customer, when you told them you got them, they're expecting to get that top quality work.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, he hooked me up. And then when they get their car back and it's not what they expected, you put yourself into that bind. You put yourself into that situation.
Right.
So it's no longer the customer's fault, it's your fault.
So when it comes to candy, right? Do you think that when it comes to fading candy, do you think that's normal to fade a candy, or do you think it's abnormal? Like, even though, like my brother, he fades. You think that's a normal thing for a candy to be faded, or it's not normal? But one time you said fades are for confused people. You wrote.
Yeah, that's because the reason why I wrote that, it was more as a joke.
Yeah.
Because some people don't understand that, it depends on the look you're going for.
Yeah.
A fade on a Donk, for example, like me, I just did a fade on a Donk that I just did, a 71, a brandy wine one.
Yeah.
All right. The one that used to have the checker flags. I just finished that car. So I was like, let's put a fade on here. We're gonna fuck with Sudi a little bit.
Yeah.
So you go see my fades. The only way I do high fades is if I do a three flip fade, a 3-tone fade.
Yeah.
So I always like to keep my fades low. In the hot rod game, in the hot rods you see, there's a lot of people who build hot rods, they do fades on them, but they keep them all the way to the bottom, so it's an illusion where it's just the bottom kind of hides itself and you don't really see the fades.
Yeah.
So that's the way I like my fades. I like them lower, not really high fades. To me, you take away a little bit from a car. If you're trying to build a nice, classy car, no matter what, these cars are hood cars, no matter what.
Yeah.
But you're trying to go more. You got a hood motherfucker with a tuxedo on.
Yeah.
You know, compare to you got a hood motherfucker with baggy clothes. You know, like we should dress back in the days, long shirt and shit like that. So the fades to me make the car look a little bit more hood.
Right.
So that's why I chose to not. I used to do fades like crazy back in the days. I used to fade damn near every fucking car that I used to candy out.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing too. That's like, to me, is more old school. I'm not saying nothing bad about the fades. Fucking, you know, I like fades. You know,
It's challenging the fade.
I
You put a good fade on the car though.
they're fucking super easy for me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. For other people, that might be. To me, it's really nothing.
Yeah.
You know. So now I just choose not to do the fade because I'm looking more for a clean car, because I put all this work into your body work, and I put all this work into aligning your car and try to get your car as
So in
nice
other words,
as I can.
one tone is more classy, fades is more hood.
That's the way I feel about it. Now, if you are gonna do
I can
fades,
see your mindset on that.
if you're gonna do fades, I'd rather keep the fade really low, like I said.
Yeah.
Like they actually told me, about my truck, like, damn, you should have faded the truck. No, I don't want. I chose that color because it kind of it's when the sun hits it.
I thought it was a root beer with the orange.
Nah, yeah, it's a tangerine with I mixed the base for it. It's like a dark charcoal, but it had a little gold flip to it.
Yeah.
The fade.
Look good.
So I don't want. I wanted more. I still wanted the candy,
Yeah.
but I wanted to have more of a stock look to it.
Right.
Like more of a clean look. So maybe, you know, some people see it and be like, damn, is that a factory color? I never seen it before.
Yeah.
That's the look I was kind of going for. That's why I wanted the root beerish color, you know. And I feel like if I would have done a fade on it, that I would have not achieved that. It would have made it look like, okay, like some people see it when the light's not hitting. When the light hits it, that shit glows like all candies. They fucking glow. Now, when the light is not hitting it, you can't even tell it's candy. It just looks like a nice little dark, you know, dark brownish, burnt orange color. So that's the look I was going for, and too, you know, something that matched the gold as well. So to me, the fades, I love the fades. Don't get me wrong. I do like them. But I'm trying to build, when I build you a car, I'm trying to build you something that is still going to be hood, but classy hood. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying.
So
I get what you're saying.
And it's not too, okay, because I'm trying to impress a certain a group of people. No, I'm just really trying to give you a good look, you know. And I feel like the fades sometimes, it's especially the higher fades, like you got two completely different colors on there, you know. And there are the cars that came factory, not no more. I don't think no more. There's no more faded cars. But the special edition trucks back in the days, the 1500, the Tahoes and all that, they came with. I
mean, it was a fade, but when they did it back then, it was like, bam, bam.
Yeah, there were two completely different colors.
It wasn't that nice fade.
But if you go and look back in the days, the cars I used to do, from, like I said, you had the Monty Cut. That was a 3-flip candy. That was faded 3 colors. Garfield, that was just a 2-tone fade. You have the hustling Donk with the check flags. That was also 3-flip candy. And then I have probably like 20 other cars from late 90s to early 2000s that I faded. These were no big heavy hitters or nothing like that. So I was fading like crazy back then too. Right. You know, it's just I chose not to.
What you, if you had a choice, what would you prefer to paint? Like candy, base coat, pearl. If you had it.
Well, I have the choice where I could candy my car out or my truck or do whatever, because
candy is more harder though, it's more challenging. Like
it is, but the thing is, since I'm doing it myself, to me it's nothing. It's pretty much just another paint job, you know, because I don't spray so many damn candies throughout my life.
Yeah.
Now with candies, you do have your fading. With candies, if you get a scratch, you know, to blend them in is a bitch and all that.
What?
But since it's my own car, I don't mind doing it.
Right.
Now, what I recommend my customers, stay away from candy. Stay away from these funky 3-stage pearls.
Yeah.
Why? Because if you fuck up if you get a hit in the middle of your door, we got to respray your whole side. And even then, you'll be lucky if if it comes out fucking like really good where you don't notice it. So it's still, you know, you still have a chance. Now, to respray a whole side, it's gonna cost you a nice penny, man. Now, do you understand that, and do you want to spray your car candy now? Do you want that funky fucking 3-stage pearl? Because some pearls also too, to blend them in, you literally got to spray a whole side.
Right.
You know, not all pearls, but some pearls. So I explained that to my customers. What if you don't mind if your car gets messed up, repairing it, which I could fix it for you. Now I don't know what I gotta, you know, if I gotta respray your whole side, you gotta pay the whole side.
Right.
So I explained that to my customers to make sure that they know what they're getting themselves into.
Right.
And once they know that, if they still choose, no, I want candy, I don't care. If something happens to it, I'll fix it. Perfect, let's do it.
Right.
Now me, as far as spraying wise goes, I'll spray any color. To me, it's just a job. I really don't care.
Right.
You know, I prefer not spraying certain colors, and then there's some colors that are damn near impossible to spray. So I explain to my customer as well. Like, if you choose a certain color, that literally half a coat of paint will change the fucking tone of that color completely.
Yeah.
You need to understand that. You might have some color differences and a couple of issues here and there. I can get it for you. Hopefully, the first time around, I'll be able to accomplish that for you. But if it doesn't come out right the first time and I got to redo it, I got to charge you to redo it. Because that's what happens when you're dealing with these funky custom colors.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're really picky, you got to understand that as well. Because I'll make sure that I get the car to where you want it. But now, I don't know. If I got to respray the car 3 times for you, you're going to pay 3 fucking paint jobs. Okay, so what colors do you recommend? Oh, you can go any color candy. I don't care. You know, but there's just some certain pearls and some certain chameleons. And then too, when you want to start mixing bases and stuff like that, you know. So
when it comes to body work, right? Let me ask you this. Body filler, bundle. And I'm not talking about cheap. I'm talking about quality. Is body filler, bundle, these things, is it made for vehicles?
Yeah, no, Bondo, every Donk that's out there, don't believe this bullshit. If they tell you my car has no Bondo, that's bullshit.
No, I know that.
All right. Now, you're supposed to work your metal and get your metal to a point where you don't got to use so much.
Exactly.
Now, there's another method that also, too, you know, you pack down your primer, a high build on there, and then you block your primers. And then you come over and just fix the little imperfections, reprimer and block, and just use the primer to keep on building as you go.
Right.
Or you can skim a really thin layer of Bondo and block everything down, and then you go into your primer process. Right. But any car, any Donk especially out there, any car period has Bondo in it, has some type of body filler. Sorry.
Have you ever heard me say that?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I heard you.
So, and I tell people that, Nate, my car, yes, your car too.
Your car has Bondo in it.
Your car too.
Now you might have minimal, but you still do have on there.
Thank you.
No matter what.
Thank you.
And then the quality materials used as well. You know, if you are for whatever reason using more than a skim coat of Bondo, make sure that Bondo you're putting on there is a quality Bondo.
Exactly.
You know, make sure that primer you're putting on there, make sure that sealer that you're putting on there is a quality sealer, so that way your job lasts you longer.
Does everything shrink? Does everything have a shrinkage process?
The majority of it does, but there is, you know, once you let it cure for a certain amount of time, you shouldn't get no more shrinkage.
No. I know that, but I'm saying initially everything has a shrinkage process.
Yeah, you do got to give it its time
exactly
to cure, because right now if I primer today and I'm painting tomorrow, there's a good chance no matter what the best materials out there, you are going to get a little bit of shrinkage on there. That, you know, with time it'll shrink to a certain point. Then you could go ahead and, as long as you got enough clear on there, you can still buff it out and you'll be fine.
Why do you think Bondo has gotten a bad name?
Because some people just use too much of it.
Yeah,
you know?
misuse it.
And then too, also some people use cheap Bondo, and the cheap Bondo also give you bad results. So, you know, you want to use better. You know, if you got to go spend an extra few $100s on materials, explain that to your customer. Right. Let them pay for it. Right. Now, if you're being a scumbag and you're charging for quality materials, but you're not putting quality materials, then it falls on you.
Right.
But then at the end of the day, it's still a business. So if I got a paint store, I own a paint store, and I also buy from paint stores that I got accounts on, so I get a little bit better prices.
You have a paint store?
Yeah, All Real Gold is a paint store.
Oh, okay.
So I order directly from the distributors. Now, what makes you think that I'm gonna give you my price? Okay, and even if I didn't own the paint store, what makes you think that if I go to the paint store and it takes me an hour to go to that paint store, pick up these materials, and come back, what makes you think that I'm gonna give you this receipt? Oh, look, you owe me this much. No. Who's gonna pay me for my gas to go to the paint store? Who's gonna pay me for my time wasted to go to the paint store?
Wear and tear.
Why would I go and spend $500 in materials and charge you $500? That don't make no sense.
No.
Okay, when you go and buy any product from any place, you think they're giving it to you at cost? No, I'm buying this product for you. I cannot give it to you at cost. So if it costs me $500, you're gonna pay $600.
Yeah.
Why? Because that'll cover my gas. That'll cover, and I'm not gonna charge you if it costs me $500. I'm not gonna charge you $1,000 to do it. But damn, it did take some of my time. It did waste my gas, and on top of that, I'm picking up your materials from my connects, from my suppliers. Why would I not make money off of it?
Yeah.
If I order you a car part,
yeah.
Okay, I got also too, and the dealers, GM. I got an account in GM. My price on GM list price costs $150. You go buy it, it costs you $150. It cost me $100 to go get it. You think I'm gonna charge you $100? No, you're gonna pay list price $150.
That's business.
And mess around, you might even pay a little bit more than what the list price, because that's what you would have paid if you would have gone and bought it yourself.
Yeah.
So why do you think that if you can go buy yourself and you're paying $150 and you'll gladly pay it, but you wasted your time and your gas to go pick it up, which your time ain't worth nothing, your gas ain't worth nothing, whatever it is, your expenses ain't worth nothing. So, but you'll gladly go do it and pay them because you don't have no account, but you won't pay me over list price.
Exactly.
Let's say I'm gonna charge you list price and I'm gonna charge you $20 in gas, just $20 for my gas. I'm not gonna charge you for my time. So now you go buy it, costs you $170. I'll go buy it for you, it's gonna cost you $170. Now it cost me $100 because I have an account. That's why it's called business. You are in business to make profit, to make money.
Right.
Now I'm not over here trying to rip you off in no way at all. But if you can't understand that my shop overhead, my electricity, my employees, my tools, everything that I have in my shop costs me money, and you don't want me to make money off of certain things, why? Why?
Yeah.
That's called business.
Yeah.
I do gotta up the price. Now I'm not trying to say that I'm throwing $1 million on top of what I'm charging you, but I do gotta make money.
Of course.
I keep parts in stock.
You want us to make money.
These are my prices. You buy it if you want to or not. I don't need to hear from you. Damn, but I could order it online and look, I found it online for this much. So go ahead and order it. And when you get it, if it doesn't fit or it doesn't align right, I'll have mine here. You can come buy mine and return the other. You don't want to know what? I'd rather buy from you. Okay, no problem. I have them here. And another thing is too, I pull the money out of my pocket to keep my parts in stock. So you think I'm buying parts so I can resell them for the same price? No, I got electricity to pay. I got rent to pay. I got overhead to pay. So this is just business. And that's what all my customers understand when they do business with me. That I'm not here to get rich off of you. I'm not here to rip you off. I'm not here to fuck you over.
But you're here to make money though.
I'm here for business.
Yeah.
And in order for it to be considered business, it has to make money. It has to make dollars. If not, it makes no sense.
And it has to make sense too.
Yeah, you understand? Yeah. So that's pretty much as far as when it comes to like that part of it. And like I said, I run my office, I order my own parts, I order my own thing. I'm my own secretary. So, damn, I'm doing 5-6 different jobs at my shop myself.
Right.
So in reality, I should be getting paid for 5-6 different jobs in my shop, but I'm not.
When it comes to these old cars, right? Once we start getting into these old cars, it falls up under the category of custom. why for the people, once you're getting into custom, it the prices increase opposed to just doing a Honda or a new car. When you get into custom, prices increase, right? Once it's custom, right?
It does, but the thing is, a lot of people don't understand too. If you go try to get a car painted by a dealer, you go right now, you got a little Cadillac, and you want to change a brand new Cadillac, and you want to change the color on it. You go take that car to the dealer. First of all, the dealer might not do it, but if they do decide to do it, they charge you 0.2 hours to take this screw off, 0.1 hours to take. They have a list, probably pages and pages and pages of the amount of stuff they need to take apart in the car. And then it's called R&I, remove and install, and then reinstall. Just to change to a regular stock white paint job and any dealer, you're going to be paying way more than what a custom shop would charge you to paint a custom car. Right. But nobody ever discusses that because they don't know.
Right.
These production shops, they'll do insurance jobs and all that. They charge every single cent for everything that they needed, that needs to be done to that car. So if I lift up my finger, I'm charging you to lift up my finger. If I'm taking off a clip, I'm charging you to take off that clip. Now, when it comes to a shop doing a stock Civic or painted it custom, materials cost more. The process is a different process. For candy, for example, you don't want to paint all your panels apart on a candy, because when you go put them back together, you're going to have mismatching all over the place. Right. The metallics are not going to sit the same, right. And then the amount of candy in certain areas will be lighter than other places.
Big fact.
So now when you go put the car back together, your cars, you're going to have to respray it. So that's why it's more expensive compared to you got a regular white paint job or silver, let's say, for example, and you take apart the whole car and you spray all the parts off the car at the same time. Same amount of coat, same amount of clear. When you go put that car back together, everything's going to look pretty fucking even.
Right.
I'm not saying it's going to match perfect, because some things might still be but only to the eye of a painter.
The trained eye.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, but you could put the car back together and you got a fucking, that's it, it's done. Compared to a custom color, you do a 3-stage pearl as well. Bro, you try to do a 3-stage pearl in pieces, when you go put the car together, you're going to have fucking mismatching panels all over the place. Perfect example, the fucking Rick Ross show. If you would have gone one of them years out there, you would have seen some of the cars out there. Oh my God, every panel was mismatching on them goddamn cars out there. Because they spray everything off the car. And they don't know no better, because that's the way they built the cars.
Right.
I'm not going to say no names on what car they were. But if you start looking at some videos, some old footages of some of the Raw shows, you'll start seeing a lot of it on videos and pictures. And it's like, holy shit, yeah, look, I noticed.
What you think about Raw show in connection with the culture? You know what I'm saying? You like it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The Ross show is giving opportunity to a lot of people. Yeah, Ross is a businessman, and shout out, Rick Ross, shout out to 57 Freddy too.
Right.
They throw a hell of a show. They're putting on for a lot of shops. They do a lot of networking.
Right.
So the Rick Ross show is not just a car show. They do that so you can go out there and network with people.
Right.
So you could meet people out there, from different cultures, from different areas, from different states. And if you are a real businessman, you go out there and you capitalize off of that. So they're giving opportunities for these small names and these small shops, and big shops as well, to go out there and meet new people and meet new clientele and meet, also too, like you're actually out there, Rick Ross, obviously a celebrity. So you get to go out there. He throws a concert out there as well. Everything, amazing food trucks out there, and it's a whole vibe. It's a good vibe out there. Everything it's cool, and he's inviting you to his house. Now I know it's obviously you're paying to go out there, but you're invited to this man's house. You bought a ticket and you're able to go to his mansion, and go out there and enjoy, meet new people, see beautiful cars, and it's I think it's really good for the culture, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's.
yeah.
But it's hard when you got a bunch of bosses together in one place. So who's the real boss out there? And I'm not saying Rick Ross because he calls himself the boss. I'm
Right,
just saying a lot of leaders in this car industry, in the car game. So you have, a lot of in the Donk game, for example, you got a lot of leaders, but you got too many bosses and not enough employees.
right,
So everybody goes out there and they're a boss.
right.
So you can't, they bump heads. And then that's why a lot of times the car game also has gotten a little bit tarnished during the last few years because I'm him. Oh no, you ain't him, I'm him.
Yeah,
Both y'all ain't him, I'm him over here.
yeah,
So everybody's out here, oh, who has it bigger?
yeah.
Oh, I got more money in my car than you. My car's better than yours. My car's the best out of all these cars. And then that's when you got too many bosses and not enough networking. So that's the only thing, that's the only like downside as far as the show goes. The no matter what show you go to, you're gonna run into that issue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But as far as, yeah, man, I think it's a really good, and it keeps on getting better every year too. So
When it comes to running the shop, would you agree that the employees is a reflection of the owner?
of course, if
Yeah,
you got bullshit employees, that means that the owner is full of shit. And it sucks to say it that way, but you're gonna run through a lot of different employees before you find the good ones.
bingo.
But if you can't get rid of these employees and they're messing up, then it falls on the owner. Because this man messed up a car already for you. You gave him a chance. Then he had a good streak. Then he messed it up again. Whatever, he had a good streak, so you did him again. And now he's on, damn near everything he's touching is coming out messed up. That's it. You got to cut him off right there, or you have to teach him.
Right,
You got to explain to him, or
right,
you got to send him to go take some courses, or
right,
you got to do what you got to do to make him better.
right,
And if you don't do that, unfortunately, you got to get rid of him because you can't keep on giving the customer excuses on, damn, my body man messed up, my painter messed up, my buffer messed up. You can't keep giving customers excuses because at the end of the day, you're gonna make yourself look bad being the owner of the shop. So definitely, your employees are a reflection of, and if you can't fix what your employees are messing up, or you can't cover the cost to fix it, maybe you shouldn't have a shop.
um do you think shop owners should be more like how you are as far as hands on, or at least have the knowledge to know how to do
They
the
should.
different things in the shop? They should.
They should have the knowledge, but the thing is that, like, I've been called unicorn before, because I know so much and I do so much.
Right,
So like I said, between metal work, body work, fabricating, frame offs, aligning everything,
right,
I even do, like other people's job, like even engine, like fabricating stuff for engines and stuff like that, and interior wise too, if something needs to get done from fiberglass and all that. And I was able to get really good at everything that I learned. There's a saying that it goes, how is it? Jack of all trades, master of none.
yeah,
So that's pretty much that you know a little bit about everything, but you can't do nothing right.
right,
See, I know a lot about what I do, and I know what I can do, and I limit myself to only what I know.
right,
And I don't want to learn no more.
right,
People tell me, why don't you learn how to do engines? Because I don't want to.
right,
Because I'm already overwhelmed with what I know. Why don't you learn how to start doing like stitching and start doing interiors? Because I don't want to learn a new trade.
right,
It's hard enough for me to deal with what I know, for
right,
me to try to learn more. But what I know, my knowledge helps me out where I can go outside and make, even if it's not my own shop, make employees better, or be able to help them out, guide them, or even get my hands dirty out there. That's why the custom car industry is so small. And out of 100 shops that I known throughout the years, there's maybe a handful that are still doing it.
Right.
Because it's really hard to be able to stay open and make consistent money without going backwards and messing up.
Right.
You know, a shop that repaints out of, let's say, this year alone, I painted 30 cars, and out of the 30 cars, I had to repaint 10 of them. Repaint 10 cars, that's 10 losses in a year that where you painted 30 cars, bro. That's a big loss.
Yeah.
It's a miracle you're still open.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with these shops. And it's not that they do it intentionally, it's that they just don't know how to do it, or they can't hire somebody good enough to do it. And then the people who are good enough to do it, they don't want to go mess with you working on these old rust buckets, these old cars, classic cars is a mission to work on. No, they're working for a Cadillac. They're working over there at the Chevy dealer. They're working at the Toyota Lexus dealer. They're over there working in the Infiniti dealer, getting paid good money, getting paid good benefits, getting paid vacation time, paid time off, PTO. You know, that's where the good workers are at. That's where they end up at. Because when they're good at what they do and they don't get treated good by a custom shop, guess what? They're going to go to a production shop. They're going to go to a shop that's going to pay them what they're worth. Paid, you know, they get benefits, 401k, they get all the good stuff. So why would I go work for you? Oh, because I'll pay you more than what they pay me. Yeah, but they're giving me over here damn near 2 months off of the year paid.
Right.
So the amount that you're paying me extra over here, I got in vacation time, so it's kind of the same price, but I get benefits over here too. I get health insurance, I get dental insurance. If I get injured in the job, you know, and I got to go to the hospital, they cover that, and then they also pay me for my days off. So why would I go work for you?
Do you think good body men is very rare in this business?
I think good body men are more rare than good painters.
Yeah.
Out of 100 body men I have known, well, let me correct myself. In the Donk game.
Right.
Out of 100 good body men in the Donk game that I know, maybe if 5 are really, you know, where I'll be like, yo, they're good. Okay. Now out of 100 painters, probably close to half of them are good.
Oh, so there are way more good painters than good body men.
Way more good painters than body men in the production industry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, because the painters, again, if you get a car that's fucking prepped flawless for you and you go paint it, no matter how, if you're not that best painter, your paint job's still gonna look nice.
Right.
You know, as long as you know how to fix your flaws. Now, if you get a bunch of shitty cars that were weren't prepped right, weren't body worked right,
yeah,
and you give them to fucking really good painters, it's still gonna look pretty shitty.
Right.
The painter would have to know how to go over it and fix the body man's fuck up in order to make their paint look good.
Right.
You know, because if you're spraying a metallic and you go ahead and you primer it and your primer's rough, when you spray that metallic over that primer, you're going to see all your metallics looking funky on there. Exactly. So if it ain't prepped right, you could be the best painter in the world, but if you spray over a patch that's rough,
yep,
you're not going to be able to get those metallics to sit the way you want them.
Exactly.
So that's why and I exaggerated saying 50% of the painters, but at least about 25 to 30% of your painters out of 100, compared to 5% and 10% me being generous, body man.
Yeah.
You know, and then in the Donk game's even worse.
Right.
I have worked for dealers before. I have worked for in body shop production work as well. So me, when I go to those places, if I'm not the best painter, I'm definitely one of the 2 best painters there. And if I'm not the best body man, I'm definitely one of the best, if not one of the 2 best body men in there. Because I have worked for dealers where I have been a painter, and I've worked for dealers where I've been a body man.
Right.
So, and I've mastered both traits to where I'm fast and I know how to pull out quality work. And I do that because I was able to master my body work and master my paint.
Right.
You know. Now, am I the best painter in the world? Fuck no, I'm not the best painter. Am I a good ass painter? Yes, I am. Am I the best body man in the world? Fuck no, I'm not the best body man in the world. Am I a really good body man? Fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah. I like
Understand?
I like
So
how you put that in perspective.
That's the thing that people don't understand. That I am not the best. Okay?
One of them.
But I am very fucking good at what I do.
Right.
You know,
right.
I am definitely in the top of the food chain when it comes to that.
Right.
Now, if somebody wants to go and compete with me and show who's the best, why would I go do that? For what? To do it for shits and giggles? No, man. Again, it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Right.
I'm not gonna go and try to prove that I'm better than you. For what? Now, if I get paid to prove that I'm better than you, all right, let's go, bro. And I'll tell you what, if at the end of the day your work comes out better than me, I'm gonna shake your motherfucking hand and be like, bro, you're a bad motherfucker. If you want, we'll do it again in the future, you know, run it back in the future and we'll try it again, dog. Maybe next time I'll get you. I'm not a bad sport, bro. I give everybody their props when I see quality work. People always try to get me. And if I can go walk around the car and I see 20, 30 different things wrong with it. I don't go around telling people, oh, that car's a piece of shit. I saw this, I saw that. No, I don't. I look at the car and I appreciate the work and I can see the amount of time that was put in that car. And no, they did a good job.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll go and the body man, oh, look, oh, really nice. Oh, the paint, bro, fucking really nice paint. Okay, but like, is it better than yours? I mean, I'm not going to say it's better, but, you know, I think there's a couple of things that could have done a little bit better on it. Right. But I'm not going to sit there and bash you. Oh, that shit's a piece of shit. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. I'm not that person. But there is a lot of people out there that do it.
Do you think the pretty sure you heard it. Do you think the way they building the cars now, downtown Bobby Brown, you think it's going more into the lowrider type of atmosphere by the way they building the cars now?
It was kind of going two roads. You know, okay, the Donk game is a completely different class on its own. Now you have the hot rods, then you have your lowriders.
Right.
All right. So to some people, donks are lowriders, and they really ain't. Okay.
Yeah. No, they're not.
So to me, I love lowriders. Nothing against lowriders. Trust me, bro. I give mad props to all the lowrider people out there. I'm not. If I sound like I'm hating, I'm definitely not doing it. I think the amount of work that the lowriders put into their cars, the detail and money is beautiful. Okay. But my preference.
You came from lowrider though.
But my preference, okay, and not saying, pretty much kind of saying it, that it's facts that the best hot rod in the world and the best lowrider in the world, you put them together in the same room, and the best hot rod in the world will beat the best lowrider in the world. I would like to send 10 out of 10. But I'm going to be nice, and I'll say 9 out of 10 times. Because the craftsmanship that goes into hot rods, and I'm not talking about, you know, your $500,000 build. There's hot rods out there that are multi-million-dollar builds. Multi-million-dollar builds.
You know Gringo?
Yeah? Gringo? Which one? From down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My home Gringo.
Oh, well,
He's work.
Again, I never like. Yeah, I think I actually seen my Reds, I think, recently.
Yeah.
And again, like I never hung out with him. I know of him.
He told me that what you said. He said what's going on. He said Hot Rod's been doing it forever. Yeah. He told me that. Gringo. Yeah.
So what happens is, if you are a real car person, not saying that, okay, because you like to build cars, you got money to build them. No. If you're a hands-on person like I am, and you know about cars and all that, you appreciate that even down to the most smallest detail, they sat there on a computer for hours and manufactured a piece just to complete that build. And that piece cost $10,000. But you wouldn't know it by just seeing it. You just walk right by it. And then that's what the hot rod game has gotten to. The Riddler Award, you know, the prestige, one of the most prestige awards out there when it comes to that. Now your lowriders, again, not taking nothing away from them. So since that's the case, at least through my eyes, it is. I mean, anyone could. If you don't believe it, okay, I don't mean to disrespect anybody, any culture in any way, but that's my opinion. I feel like that's why I was trying to steer the dunk game more towards that side. That I feel like it's a better build than the lowrider side that was more of a flashy and more accessory build.
Right.
So in the hot rod game too, there's a saying that says clean, simple is better. Simple is more. Clean is better. So simple sometimes just because you go and grab 10 different things, you can go right now and have a watch collection. Okay? You go and you grab the Ross watch out of there, you wear it, that's just awesome. Now you grab 10 watches because they're all raw and you put them all down one arm. How do you look? You look like a fool.
Yeah, of course.
Understand? Because that's kind of what happens. That's why it says simple is more. Because you don't need 10 watches on one wrist, on one arm, to be like, I'm the boss, look at how many watches. No.
Right.
You need that one real watch on your wrist. And you could put watches all over everywhere and you're still shitting on them.
Which one is the oldest group? Lowrider or Hot Rod? Which one? Hot Rod is older?
Yeah. Hot Rod, I believe would probably be older. Like I never really did my research. But the Hot Rod game has escalated throughout the years. Like the Hot Rods, but the thing is that some people even say that Hot Rods came from Lowriders and Lowriders came from Hot Rods. Because at one point, they were kind of similar, like back in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. They were putting the big wheels and the what do you call them? Just the Ford T buckets, them old school little Ford, like that they had like the wood wheels on them and all that. When they started bringing out more horsepower, they started putting like big wheels on them. So I believe that they consider those hot rods.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't quote me. I'm not really sure, but I think the hot rods are older than lowriders. I could be wrong.
Right. When it comes to legend, what are some of the things you think a person have to do in the car world to be considered a bona fide legend? Because I think legend's being watered down. So in the car world, what are some of the things a person will have to achieve or do to say that he's a legend?
Consistency.
Okay.
It's the same as a legend is pretty much like saying the Hall of Fame. What do you need to do to get into the NFL Hall of Fame, NBA Hall of Fame? In reality,
Right.
Coaches make it to the Hall of Fame. Players make it to the Hall of Fame, and then there's certain positions throughout the sport that also make it to the Hall of Fames that people don't know about. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a car builder. It could be the car owner. It could be a painter. It could be a body man. It could be anything, as long as consistency is there. Like I've been called legends plenty of times because I have brought out a lot of cars, throughout the years, and I've been consistent with it. Like, for example, and then look, you got Nava. Nava's considered a legend as well because he has built a bunch of these cars. You got Sim 1 out here right now. Sim 1 is, a lot of people don't really know about him. That's the pink one right now that came out with the rose gold floaters.
Yeah, I know.
7-1.
Okay. Shout out to Sim 1, man.
Shout out to Sim 1. Shout out to all y'all boys.
Yeah.
But he's also a legend. That people don't really, because he doesn't promote himself, but he's dropped so many hits as well.
You don't really be on the internet neither like that.
You got Sudi. Sudi's a legend because he's been dropping fucking hits forever as well.
Yeah.
And then you got Freddie. he's another legend out there who's been dropping, fucking hits from back in the days. Then you got a lot of people in this car industry who are legends that some people might not know about them, and some people might, from car builders to car owners to shop owners. So with me, I believe it's more consistency. Like right now, if I have built, or I have painted 100 cars, and every time I paint one, it's always a hit, and that motherfucker's a legend.
Right.
If you're fucking badass body man, every car you touch straight as an arrow, that motherfucker's there as a legend.
Right.
If you dropped 10 fucking cars, and out of the 10 cars, 9 of them are not even, let's say 7 of them are hits, you're still fucking goddamn. Well, that boy be building some nice ass car. He has swag. He has flavor. So a legend could be, a lot of different people, a lot of different things. But I believe that consistency is key when it comes to that.
Yeah. So when it comes to the game, right? In order to be considered, do you think or believe that there is a such thing as big dogs and regular dogs when it comes to the car culture? You know what I'm saying?
There is.
Yeah.
There is some people, and not saying that
like Flacco.
Not saying it's favoritism. Well, Flacco, another one. Flacco was racing cars. Look, another more legends. You got Blue Magic out here who put fucking tremendous fucking put up. When the racing, you got Jit Fly who's building some badass shit out here. Is another legend. You got Gone Hollywood, another one. If you know. So like these are other categories as far because like mine's is more towards like show cars type of thing. That's where I specialize more. But then you got the race car game as well. Flacco had the green machine.
Yeah.
The hardtop with a big monster engine.
Right.
Nobody ever wanted to race him. Everybody was afraid of him.
Right.
Now people could say what they want, but he was, he from back then, you could fucking consider him a legend in that. Now he went and fucking dropped Bobby Brown.
Right.
There's always gonna be controversy and people gonna always hate no matter what.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he has as of right now, unless somebody could prove it wrong, he has the baddest fucking Donk in the world.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much, and that was another thing too, as far as when you said the Rick Ross show, it's pretty cool that you could consider, whoever wins certain categories, they're like kind of the best for that whole year. Till the next year when somebody comes and takes it away from them. Now, I don't know where the game is going to escalate to, and if it's going to turn into a clown show or it's going to turn into fucking something different, But for now, it's still, luckily, it hasn't gotten to that point.
Right.
Which I'm afraid it might get to that point. If it does, it does. You can't control it. But legends, consistency. And then Flacco did it in the race game with that fucking, the 7-3, the green machine. And now he did it, in the car show game as well with Downtown. And Flacco, he put a lot into it. I got a lot of shit I could talk about him. That's my dog.
Yeah.
So I'll say it, though.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he pulled through. He did his work as well. He put his work in, and he owns the car. So you got to give him his props, no matter what.
One thing I got a problem with though is, and I'm gonna use someone like Flacco as an example, and I'm gonna use me. I'm gonna play the role of a hater as an example. I have a car. I'm building. I didn't do a lot of stuff that Flacco did. So because of that, I want to try to water down Flacco. I want to down talk Flacco. This and that there. It's a lot of that hating going on in the culture right now.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on. Why? The people who put themselves on a pedestal and try to look and make some. That's the same thing those are called hoe-ass motherfuckers. Because they'll go and let's say we got 2 guys trying to holler at a female. One of them just straight up going to her and be like, hey, what's up? Can I get your name? Whatever, and start trying to pull the female. Now the other one goes over there and I don't know why you talk to that fuck nigga over there.
Yeah.
He's a whole ass motherfucker. He ain't shit, they're trying to pull that female by putting the next man down to make themselves look better. A lot of that's going on in the game right now.
That's right.
But when you go and try to call them out on that, oh, I didn't even like that. That was just joking around, and then they want to act like they're not.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But it is a lot of that. That's that low-key hating shit going on where you try to, like you said, downplay the next man's shit to make yourself look better. Pretty much, you know, to get ranked.
Right.
And unfortunately, no matter what, you can't stop it.
Right.
It ain't going to fucking stop. At the end of the day, Flacco fucking, you know, we took Bobby Brown out there and represented. Another thing, too, you got to also remember, we brought it down to Dade County. And I'm not saying nothing, you know, we're all South Florida and all that, but you got Broward and you got Dade. And from back in the days, this is, you know, back in the East Coast Rider days, it was always like a friendly competition between Dade and Broward.
Right.
Dade always had the swag. Now Broward kind of, you know, now Broward's flowing with the Dade swag. And now we're all unified as far as you represent. You know, if you say Miami, representing Miami, that also includes Fort Lauderdale. That also includes Pompano. That also includes, well, down here, you know, Miami, all Dade County. So when you say you're from Miami, you're representing Miami, that includes pretty much all of South Florida. You could already say that. Yeah. Where back in the days, it was Dade versus Broward type of deal. So when we went up there, the key was won in the Donk game the first year in Pompano, which was Broward. The second year was Broward as well, if I'm not mistaken, which was, I think, bipolar. The third year, that was Olive Oil. I mean, he's from, I think, Opelika, if I'm not mistaken, Steve.
Yeah.
But I know he lives, I think, in Texas.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that kind of went. So it's kind of like, you know, to Texas, but he is from Dade.
Yeah,
and then Bobby Brown is all Dade County.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that you could actually say that Dade County went up there and took that award, which, you know, it's not saying it's a competition in any way, but a lot of people still feel that way. Like, fuck, because a lot of people came up to me and be like, damn, Rod, fuck, you know, you did it, bro. You know, you brought it back down to Dade County and, you know, this and that, because they're still living that in the past. The Dade versus Broward thing, which, like I said, it ain't the same anymore.
Right.
But,
well, I got two more questions before we wrap it up. In order to be considered a big dog that's really making some noise, do you think you need to go frame off every bolt, every screw, everything touched on the car to be considered a big dog in the car culture in real time, 2026?
I mean, you don't have to necessarily do it, but you would have to start with a fucking really clean car.
With a what?
With a really clean car.
Okay.
Like a museum style car. Something that, you know, doesn't have, if it has 50,000 miles, it's too much. You know, and it's been garage kept his whole life. For you to even be able to be in that conversation.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you do have to, when you pull off your frame, you're putting on new body mounts, and then you also want to upgrade your suspension. If you're going upgrading your engine and you're taking off your factory engine, which you probably won't be able to do it with a stock engine. Yeah. You gotta upgrade your engine, then you gotta upgrade your transmission, you gotta upgrade your rear end, you gotta then from there you might as well go ahead and do some upgrades on your suspension as well, you know, and then you gotta modify a few things. If you're to that point, why not just go ahead and finish it off and just do your frame?
Right, right.
Now, can you be a big dog? Yes, you could, but it'll be a very hard one.
Right.
You know, which there is some big dogs out there that are not frame off, but you wouldn't know it.
Right.
Now, the problem about that is that when you pull up to somebody who did do a frame off and they know you're not frame off, there goes again.
Exactly.
They're gonna belittle you because, like, hey, you're not even in my class.
Yeah.
You didn't even pull your frame off. So
yeah,
that's why it's kind of, okay, they're still big dogs, but you could be a big dog, but when you run to that bigger dog, you're not looking that big anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
You could still argue the case, you know, fuck around. You might even be able to fucking whoop that big dog's ass with your car, you know, because your car was built better.
Right.
But, you know, so pretty much the answer is You could definitely do it,
Yeah.
but it's not something that's easy.
Right.
You got to start off too also with a fucking immaculate car, man.
Right. Well, last but not least, what does the future hold for Rod Elegance going forward, man?
Shit, me, I want to retire. I'm 45, and I told myself by 50, I'm gonna stop this car game. I'm gonna stop this whole car thing. So I'm probably gonna be doing my own stuff. I don't know what it is. So I got 4 more good years in me, 4 more years and a few months. And if I do go more than that, it's probably pretty much because I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And then as far as building more cars, I still got several more cars. I want to build one more the way I want to build it, and and be able to go compete with it. But it's really stressful, man. It's a lot of work, a lot of detail, man, and it's hard. It makes them grays come out.
It's stressful for me. I can imagine you as a shop owner.
That's just stressful.
It is. Especially dealing with customers and dealing with people.
The thing is, okay, the shop owner thing is one thing, but since I'm hands-on, it makes it so much more difficult for me. And I don't know how much more I have in me, because it's just so much hard work.
Yeah.
And it's to a point already in my life where I want to kind of find something easier. I don't want to keep on working, busting my ass when I'm past 50.
Yeah.
I want to kind of try to find something that's easier. And I don't want to go out there and risk my life, to go and make easy money either.
Yeah.
For my family's sake. I want to be around for my kids. I want to be around for my family.
Man, likewise.
So I want to find something, hopefully. Well, like I said, I own, All Real Gold as well. So hopefully maybe that pops off,
Yeah.
Who knows? But got a few more years left in me, a few more hard years. I feel like I already gave a lot of my life already into this car game. And hopefully, hopefully I keep on doing it. And for everybody who's, a fan of my work, and everybody who has, pretty much been good to me and give me my love and give me my flowers for what I've done throughout the years, I really appreciate you,
Yeah.
I really appreciate the love from everybody, and even my haters appreciate you too, because without you, I wouldn't gone the extra mile and done what I did. So shout outs to all my haters out there as well. But I think I don't know how many more years of this I got in me.
Yeah. Well, this is another episode at Deep Range Lifestyle that have come to an end. And I want to thank you. You gave me a good interview, bro.
Deep Range, bro, my brother.
Hey, it was very informative,
so much
man.
For having me here, man. I appreciate the love.
Likewise, man.
Appreciate everything, man. And
likewise.
Deep Range, boy, y'all check him out, man. Man, here's good people, bro.
Appreciate it.
He's a beast and body man too. Legend.
Yeah, appreciate it. But that means a lot coming from you, man. That means a lot coming from you. Well, we're going to go on and wrap this up, man. Remember what I always say, man. In life, shoot deep range, man. Don't depend on free throws. You see what I'm saying? Don't depend on layups. Shoot long range, because when you shoot long range, guess what? You challenge yourself. And when you challenge yourself, you become better. So remember, shoot deep range. We out, and we out.